David, Jenna Fisher.
Jenna Fisher, the lovely Jenna Fisher, who's pretty universally liked out there. I mean, very sweet, very talented, very fun and charming.
Famous for The Office. She's done a lot of movies and a lot of other things, but she was Pam on The Office, the smash.
For all 98 seasons.
Yeah.
That show just kept grinding it out. And
yeah.
There's a spinoff now we talk about. We don't only talk about The Office, of course. She does plays. She's doing a new one we're talking about. She talks about, I asked her about Nick Swartzen, about Will Ferrell. She loves SNL. And I hit her up after the interview. And, I think she had what we had. She's like exactly what we say. Did we ask the right questions? Was I interesting? Was I fun? And we always finish and going, I think we did that wrong, whatever. But she's very sweet about it. She wanted to do a good job. She listens to the show. She has her own show.
The Office
Angela.
Ladies. Yeah. And she tells some really funny stories, interesting stories about her struggles before she got on The Office. And there's a whole arc of story involving Molly Shannon. And that's a very interesting
I like
thing.
that story. Yeah.
And sometimes when we finish the podcast, we keep our laptop open. So I ended up talking with her for a half hour afterwards. She's very easy.
Well, she's easy to chat with.
Yeah. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one.
Jenna Fisher.
I was just asked by our producer, and it's a profound question. When you're driving around, a long drive, 2-hour drive, whatever, what's your entertainment? XM news, music, podcasting, or
just rap?
Phone calls to pay back. You have 10 seconds.
Ooh, it's not music. I do not listen to music. My first car did not have a working radio, and I just got used to driving in silence. And it's my preference. But now I would say news, podcasts, or phone calls.
So I love the idea that
music.
You literally could go like just the silence, 2 hours, 3 hours, just silence.
Jesus, it's chasing
it's
more.
Healthy, by the way.
I don't know. Yeah, I drove from St. Louis, Missouri, all the way to California with no radio. Just open windows, also no air conditioning.
In the trunk.
My first car was really it just moved you from one place to another. There was no luxury involved.
You're not old.
We didn't have air conditioning.
What year of car?
I don't remember. I think it was like an 86. I mean, it had originally, when it was built, had these features. They just didn't work anymore.
So you do The Office all those years, and then you buy a used Buick from 1988? I mean, I'll talk to Carell if I have to, or
no.
I'm going to call Greg Daniels.
Fact,
okay, go ahead.
No. I had a Mazda 323 hatchback.
Sweet.
And that was the car I drove across the country.
Okay.
And then I upgraded to a Volkswagen Jetta, which was my favorite car maybe I've ever had. It was awesome. But then when I got my big office paycheck, I got a stupid car.
Okay.
Yeah, Rolls Royce.
I walked into a Mercedes dealership and they had a little sedan. They only made like 7 of these. And it had like the engine of a race car, but in like the body of like a C-Class Mercedes. So it was like cute and compact, but I was 100% an asshole driver. Like, because I could cut around anyone. It was great.
Did you keep it?
I leased it and I gave it up after the lease. And I went more practical.
We all have that story. You want me to go first, David? Because it's similar to yours.
Please.
Okay, got a little money, some movie, whatever, got extra money. Went to a Mercedes dealership. Bought a convertible little Mercedes coupe. Like, oh, wow, this is awesome. Drove it for 3 or 4 days and realized when I had the canopy up, I was looking through a plastic windshield in the back. So took it back, traded it in for a SLE or a 420 SLE. And then I started getting people paying attention to me. I lived in the Valley when I would go to like 7-Eleven or a gas station. So then I went to Honda. I just wanted a lo-fi car. That's my story.
Well, the problem with LA is that you get this awesome car and then you can only go like 32 miles an hour in it because you're always stuck in traffic. So it's kind of like after a few years, I was like, oh, the best I can do is like whip down the on-ramp.
Yeah, 300 horsepower and you're just
and then that's it. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Total waste.
When I moved out, I got something when I first paycheck and I went and I had no car. So I got a car. Dana knows this story. $6,000 Honda. I didn't go flashy. I only had 6. And then I drove it to the Improv and then I brought it out. I brought my buddy out to show him and it was stolen.
What?
So
how long? You had it for like a night? One day? You went one place?
Yeah. And Kevin Nealon drove a car eerily similar to that. I'm not saying he had anything to do with the robbery, but it was kind of weird. But my first car was a Volkswagen Bug. Are you going to go to first car when you got an extra paycheck?
Me?
No, you are. We know your story.
We know my story. Yeah.
David, you got.
Oh, I had my fair share because I do like cars, but my neck gives me trouble. So every time I get a car I love, it's just too painful. And like Jenna said, when you're starting and stopping all day, it's not like you live in the Midwest and you can floor it and there's big parking lots. Like when you go to Wendy's in Arizona, there's like 300 parking spots. And when you go here, there's one at Kmart and you go, are we all sharing this? You can't believe when you get to LA how little there's some businesses have absolutely no parking. So I don't know what we're supposed to do. So that kind of threw me. And I realized I didn't need big fancy cars. I could just tell people I had them. I didn't really need them.
My first car was also a manual transmission.
Oh boy.
And my left foot would like truly ache at the end of like driving all day in LA because you were constantly just going like in and out of third and fourth gear. There was like, you never made it to fifth gear in this car.
God, no one has a stick anymore.
No, this was the cheapest car. Like the manual transmission was the cheapest car. My dad's very practical. He was like, you'll get this car.
Now,
I'll teach you how to drive it.
Firm, but
this is all you need. You don't need any frills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In St. Louis.
Yeah.
So
you've been to St. Louis, I bet?
I'm going to St. Louis to do a show.
Have
Heather,
you had Emo's Pizza in St. Louis?
Emo's Pizza in St. Louis? No, but I like it as a town. I like walking around. I like the stadiums are really close in. You know, not in the
Jenna, do you know what Chesterfield is?
Chesterfield is where I grew up.
Oh, is it really?
Chesterfield is where my family lives now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I actually grew up in like Manchester / Chesterfield in an unincorporated area. But yeah, Chesterfield for sure. Why?
Because that's where I'm going for my tour. And they said, I was with Nikki Glazer this weekend and she's from St. Louis. And she goes, why don't they put on your tour St. Louis? No one, it says Chesterfield. And I go, oh, I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going.
If you're from St. Louis, you know what Chesterfield is.
You'll know? Okay,
yeah,
good.
it's not like, it's not downtown. I mean, St. Louis is downtown. You're going to be in the burbs. You're in the suburbs.
That's fine with me. And I think it's a great place. I've been there before. I think it's new. Anyway, we'll set up comps for everyone you know from high school. Other than that.
Great.
You know,
be careful
Dana,
what you say. My high school ladies are going to come out for your show.
It's super fun. Dana and I had a question. First of all, I'll tell Dana a little pre-question that you don't know.
All right, let's try to keep our guests off balance, like with questions she's not asked all the time.
Oh yeah, we're here to.
We want to surprise you.
She's going to come out here dizzy.
I love it.
So
great. Everyone loves that in an interview.
I thought of doing this with Dana, and then I called Jenna. Right, Jenna? Do you remember this?
Yes, of course. Yes.
And you were very sweet. You took the call and you kind of walked me through how it works and what you did. Mm-hmm. And it really gave me a little boost to say this might be fun. And if it has to be a Dana, it has to be. That's fine, whatever. And then Dana had a question of, do you really need a partner?
Has it ever gone through your mind? I could have done this by myself, and then the money doubles. Has that ever gone through your mind? or maybe Angela, but that
Dana and I think about that all day, every day.
People always ask us forever, why? Why us? Why now? Are you really friends? Do you get that? I mean, you guys are famously really close friends. But with Spade and I was like, what? The Tommy Boy guy and the Wayne's World guy? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, also because Angela and I were frenemies on The Office. Our characters were not friends. And people are always very surprised to learn that we are best friends in real life. I could not have done the podcast without her. I am all like structure and order and spreadsheets. My version of Office Ladies podcast would be very informative, but also way less entertaining.
Yes.
So Angela brings all of the like funny and all of the quirky and all of like the weird observations. So we're a pretty good pair.
Yeah, I think that's smart that you did that because there is kind of safety in numbers. Dana is way better at this. And I don't think I could do it myself. I think Dana really, really drives it and makes it easier to do it for
today.
me. But jokingly, it's fun to joke around with him too because he's a funny guy, obviously, and we have a good time with that. And I think you guys have a real friendship. So people like to hear that you're friends, even though it doesn't seem like it on the show.
You guys, I love your podcast. Like, you have no idea how excited I am to be on your podcast right now. I listen to you guys. I think you are so good together. Dana, I can't believe you're talking to me right now. That's kind of blowing my mind. I'm a huge Saturday Night Live nerd. The greatest part about being on The Office and being on NBC was that I got to breathe the same air as Saturday Night Live people. This is like that we would have to be at the same corporate parties together.
Right, yeah.
And I was a total groupie. That is who I gravitated toward. It was just the coolest. But that's going way back. I actually have a crazy story from my very early days in LA.
Let's hear it.
And Saturday Night Live. Okay, so I made my living when I landed in LA as a typist and a transcriber. And you know how you'd have to go to those events? They're called like the Television Critics Association. And you would sit on a panel as a cast and you would introduce new cast members. This would be for any show. Well, my job was to go and sit in that room and take notes and then go back to a hotel room, a hot hotel room filled with like 12 people and 12 computers, and then listen to audio and transcribe these like press events.
Wow.
These conversations.
Yes. And if we got our work done on time, by that evening, we were allowed to go to the quote unquote parties, which, as you know, are really just cast members of TV shows mingling with reporters who are trying to get sound bites. But we would get to go, we'd get to eat the food, drink the drinks, and just watch all the famous people. Well, all I wanted more than anything was to go to the Saturday Night Live party. I wanted it more than my little new heart in LA could stand it. And so I knew what night it was coming up, and I started planting the seed the day before. I started pretending like I didn't feel good because I was going to make an excuse that I was sick so that I could get off work on time and then sneak into this party. But I needed the hours, you know, so I planted that seed. The next day I was like, man, I'm still not feeling good. At 3:00, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I got to go. I got to go home. The guy was like, fine. I had planted a change of clothes in my car. I changed into a cocktail dress. I sneak into the party, and I can't even tell you, it was amazing. Norm Macdonald, I'm looking at him in the flesh. Wow. My mind is blown. Then I see Molly Shannon, and I think, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go say hi to Molly Shannon. And I walk up to her. She's giving sound bites to the press. And I say, Molly Shannon, I am a new actress in LA, and I just admire you so much. And I just wanted to tell you just what you mean to me. You know, the stuff you say.
Yeah, sure.
She looked at me, took me by the shoulders, looked me deep in the eyes, and said, don't give up. Whatever you do, don't give up. It took me 10 years to get on Saturday Night Live. And my best advice to you is just know it'll happen eventually if you just stick with it, okay?
Wow.
You guys.
Sounds like the Molly we know.
Yeah, I was about to say
Right?
she'll
Oh,
say
yeah.
something nice.
Amazing.
Yeah.
She's the
And I
yeah.
went and I had this encounter with her, and then I turn around and my boss from the transcription
mad.
room is standing there along with everybody else who got off work on time, and they came to this party. And I was like, am I fired? And he goes, you are fired. And I was like, okay.
What?
He fired me. But it was fine, guys, because I met Molly Shannon and she gave me that advice.
Shit.
And I went home and I told my mom. And every time I had a hard day for the next 10 years, my mom would say to me, Jenna, don't you forget what Molly Shannon told you. She said, don't give up. She said it took her 10 years.
Yeah.
You guys wait for it. 10 years later, I'm at the premiere of Walk Hard, the movie Walk Hard that I did with John C. Reilly.
Yeah.
Right.
I shit you not. Guess who's at that party?
Molly Shannon.
Molly Shannon.
Your boss.
And I got to go up to her and I got to say, Molly Shannon, here's this story. You told me 10 years. And she was like, and look, it's 10 years later and here you are. And I got a picture with her. I made the photographer come over and take a picture of us. Is that the greatest thing ever?
Does Molly know, has she heard this story? Or did you just?
Yes, I told her that night
Okay.
at the Walk Hard premiere.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
But now.
Yes, and I wrote about it. I wrote a book and I wrote that story in the book and I have the
okay.
picture in the book too. Mm-hmm.
Well, when I met David, he was 19. I said, you hang with this, and in 6 months, don't give up, because in 6 months, no, David was out of the blocks fast. If it was a sprinter, he was like, boom.
Dana said, you're going to move to LA, and in 6 months, you'll get crabs. And I go, okay.
Police Academy, hello. He got a movie he's had a.
I got a movie early on.
21 or
That's the
something.
Police Academy movie that I made. I had $6,000 to buy the car that got stolen. So I was back to zero.
Wow.
Yeah, great story. You still type 85 words per minute. That's nothing to sneeze at.
I do.
90% accuracy.
It's all in the accuracy. Anyone can type garbage quickly.
You're 90%, right?
Yeah, I mean, right? You want to type words. Anyone can just type nothing.
My father was
quickly.
a high school
True.
teaching, a typing teacher, my father, for decades.
Teaching typer.
Mm-hmm.
Can you type? Can you guys type
Yeah.
with all your fingers, or are you like
Fuck
two
no.
finger typers?
I can't do anything.
If you see a non-taught young person, like in their 20s, they're really fast. And I don't know if it's technically all using all their fingers, but we picked it up later. But I'm fast enough. But I don't.
Jenna, I have a good question that ties into Saturday Night Live.
What
when
is it?
you did Blades of Glory, you wound up getting to have sex with Will Ferrell, right?
Yes, that's right. I had a
That's
sex
a big
scene with
deal.
Will. Mm-hmm.
That's
my
one of the
gosh.
best all-time goats of SNL.
For sure.
Yeah. That was nuts. But also, by the way, Amy Poehler was in that movie.
Oh, that's right, Amy.
So just playing my sister,
Wowee.
Mhm.
and Will Arnett was in that movie. Yeah, I mean, that was terrifying. That was terrifying. And Will was so polite when we shot that scene because he
He's
had
so
to
nice.
grab my boobs several times. But what was crazy about it was I probably had on more clothes in that scene where I look like I'm just in a nightie than I normally wear. Because they put you in Spanx and then a corset and then a thing and they painted my body with makeup. I mean, I felt so covered. It was crazy.
He has to go and grab your boobs through your stuff, but it's that kind of thing. You can't even feel it because you've got 18 layers of.
Yeah, it's I was wearing body armor. So I was kind of maybe wink when you grab them because I can feel nothing.
And this was
Nudge me.
predates intimacy coordinators. There was no one there.
There was no.
It was
there
just,
was just
okay.
It was just
It was
here's
just
what
a
we're
director
doing.
going, let's do this.
Yes, exactly.
Was Swartzen in that? Do you know Nick Swartzen, that little fool?
Yes, he was.
Oh my God. We were friends with Nick, and it's a real roller coaster, Jenna. I'll tell you that.
It is. I found him lovely on the film, but what do I know?
No, he's great. He's so funny. Hall pass. We haven't even gotten to the
Nothing.
goddamn
Nothing great
office. Look
I
at
have
Jenna's
a
done
question
so
about
much
the
stuff.
Office.
What is it?
The question is for you and your partner, rewatching all these episodes and talking about them.
Yeah.
How is your perception, if it at all, changed about the show, or what did you learn about the show, or if anything? Because it is now officially a phenomenon in the way it travels around and then explodes again. It's evergreen, and it's a unique show.
Stopped.
And yesterday I was watching The Office with Ricky Gervais. Very different. I mean, it you say it came from that office, but it has its own complete original thing. Greg Daniels, one of the great writers. So what did you guys, what do you feel about that thing after doing hundreds of podcasts? Did you go through every episode at some point?
Every single episode, all 201 episodes. And then a lot of interviews with cast and crew. Writers, exactly. My biggest takeaway from having rewatched it was that it's really good the whole time. Because I think there was this lore, especially among the cast and the creatives, that maybe we hit our peak in season 3 or season 4. And also this belief that the 2 seasons after Steve left, we were just treading water and maybe they weren't as good. But when I watched everything, some of my favorite episodes were in seasons 8 and 9 after Steve had left. There were still these amazing storylines. And also, I have to say now, when I look back, some of my favorite episodes were also in seasons 4 through 6. Dinner Party was season 4. Michael Scott Paper Company, that whole arc was in season 5. And that's just great TV. And but yeah, I think, some of the award nominations stopped after season 3. So I think maybe we got in our heads and thought, I guess we're not creating as great.
I think that just happens no matter what.
You're not the new shiny object anymore.
Exactly. And
that's
they kind of
nice
slow down.
Thing. I mean, when you're watching yourself and you're watching a thing and then you come on and stuff, and it's something you did years ago, do you ever sometimes, because you sound like you're a normal actor, comedian that's sort of a little self-critical, how was I? Do you ever kind of look at yourself in a scene and go, damn, I nailed that? Why did I feel insecure? Or what's that like?
I mean, I have both reactions. Okay. Sometimes I watch it and I'm like, I'll never do work that good again. Shit, that was great. But then there's other scenes where I just cringe, where I'm like, oh God, I remember how I struggled with that and I couldn't do it. And now here it is for everyone to see. And I guess I just have to move on. So I've had both reactions.
And I don't know the complete specifics of this, but first of all, it was always an ensemble. How great Carell is in that part is everybody knows that. But it always was an ensemble, and so many people came out of it and now have these long careers. But it's. I forgot my train of thought. Sorry. I was seeing Steve Carell in my head.
Jenna, when you can watch it and say, I was in the pocket, because sometimes you watch it and you go, you're just in the pocket of going, this is a great scene. This whole idea of this episode's working. And when they whip the camera back, get a great look, whip back to you, perfect timing, get a great look. And when you see it, you go, because, you can only feel the camera when you're shooting and you don't really know. And then you go, God, they nailed that. Boom, boom, edited well. Everything about this is just, that's why people really get enchanted by, and also just your face is so part of The Office and it's so cute. And they always cut to you and you have these little storylines. It's really, I see why people get hooked on it. No matter when you turn it on, you can just grab any episode.
I remember what I forgot, was how much, if any, improvisation was there, because it comes off very improvisational in Totem. But I know there wasn't completely improvised. I know, that's a pretty cool word, right? So were you allowed to kind of go, you guys, could I try this? Do you mind if I do, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it was really collaborative. And, so many of the writers were also actors on the show. So they were with us and they would be sometimes pitching alternate jokes right there on the
That's
set.
kind of fun, yeah.
So that was neat. And we did a lot of improvising, but I don't know how much of it actually made the cut. We got to play and have fun, but I would say like 90% of what you see on the screen was written on the page, down to like they would write in ellipses for our speech, like so you knew to kind of pause because they knew they were going to whip the camera during that pause, and so they could get back to you. So there was a very elaborate choreography of whipping the camera a little too late so that it seemed, and you'd have to give handles.
So it seemed like
the crew, so it seemed like
they didn't quite do it right. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so a lot of times when we would do a rehearsal, they would say, Jenna, will you give a handle before your next line so we have time for that camera whip? So that would be, we would add things like, well,
they'd find you
so that they could find you, like in the right timing. But
so great, but it also seems very real. Like
a lot of the nonverbal acting and those cutaways to a character that isn't saying a line, but just sort of nonverbally doing some kind of attitude and stuff. It was immediately just felt so new. I'm not going to say fresh. David would use that word a lot, but immediately, I think for comedians as well, watching it going, this looks cool. This looks fun. This looks different and really funny. It doesn't push at all. You know, it's the
well, we had two camera operators with cameras on their shoulders, and both of these guys were from Survivor. So these guys had like walked through the wilderness with the Survivor people capturing Survivor. So this is where they came from in the documentary world. And camera A, Randall Einhorn, who was also our cinematographer, who went on to be a director and is now, the executive producer of Abbott Elementary and all those things. Randall was our A camera, and his job was to get all of the dialogue. And then Matt Sohn, he was our B camera. And then his job was to get all of those things you're talking about, Dana, all of the acting that was happening in the background. So whenever a scene was happening, we were all in the background of each other's scenes all day long on set, the full 12 hours. Steve Carell included. I can't tell you how many times Steve Carell had to sit in Michael Scott's office just to be in the background of Jim and Pam looking at each other.
Because we get a piece of them.
Yeah, because we're going to see a piece. We're going to see a piece of you is like something we could put on a mug. That'd be a great cast gift. And so he would grab and push in on all of the, anyone who was in the background of a scene and get their reactions in real time. It was such a cool way to work.
Yeah, and you have to stay alive, though.
You do.
Every scene.
But it keeps your energy up,
sure.
because that's the hardest thing for me about acting in movies is like the long amounts of downtime between when you're actually acting. It's just like, oh, God, I got to ramp up again.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know if this is the correct way to say it, but if you feel like you're discovering something new in the moment, it's really nice. It does keep your brain alive. And in traditional movies, what I was doing, you do the 3 masters at 7 or 8 a.m. or whatever. And then by 5 or 6 o'clock, you start. And, in the master 8 hours ago, your left elbow was up and you open the car door at this point. Yeah. It's the antithesis of what you guys had, at least the way it felt. It popped. It felt real,
For sure. And we did not have marks. Those for people out there, like you put tape on the ground and then you have to stand on it because that's how you're going to be in focus. But we had no marks. Wow. And if the boom dipped in shot, we just kept it in because, it worked in the world. And and when I finished, going back to Blades of Glory was the first big movie I did after being cast on The Office. And I repeatedly kept looking down the barrel of the camera. Like I would do a scene with Will and Amy, and then I would like give a look to camera. I'd be like, fuck, I can't do that. And also I suddenly had to hit a mark, and I was so stiff. It was really stressful because I'd been in this other world.
You can watch when people on movies, sometimes have you ever watched someone looks down when they walk in, look for their mark, and then they look up?
I love it.
So horrifying. I want to say also,
all that.
I was going to say the show is fresh, but it's funny that the term fresh is stale. But also,
it's a problem. I'm going to bring it back. The Office was fresh, and the new one called The Paper on Peacock. Have you seen that? Do you know much about it?
Okay, I haven't seen it, but I got to go to the set. Angela and I got special access to the set and got to talk to all the actors. We got to see it. It's really cool, but we're not allowed to say anything. Oh, yeah, I think that it's in the can. Like they finished it. It comes out in September.
Oh, interesting.
September on where?
Peacock.
I don't know. Peacock, right?
Peacock.
So with John Krasinski, like the Jim and Pam narrative became such a big thing. I talked to some people in their early 20s today, told them I was going to interview you, and on The Office, I go, she was Pam. Oh, Pam, this is like a famous character. And Jim and Pam. I'm just kind of curious because John Krasinski, I find it really, really interesting how he came up with that horror film, The Quiet. What was it? A
Quiet Place.
Quiet Place. And it's interesting when actors just all of a sudden you see them and like, wow, this guy can really direct. And did you see any seeds of that in him intellectually, or just the way he was around? Was that a surprise to you when he came out directing?
It was a surprise to none of us.
Oh,
like
I didn't think so.
John, I would always say to John, I think you're going to be like our Tom Hanks. Like, remember how Tom Hanks did Bosom Buddies?
Totally.
And he was like a very famous, successful TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like when you think of Tom Hanks, you don't think of Bosom Buddies. You think of everything else Tom Hanks has done. And I was like, I think The Office is going to be your Bosom Buddies. Like, you're going places. It's very clear.
And did he look down at the ground and go, "Oh shucks, Jenna," or how did he?
He did.
He did.
He's he's very humble in that way. Like that would be if I say that to him, that's very embarrassing to him. He doesn't want to be like fussed over like that. But I was like, no, it's true, Mister.
Well, it's a Herculean task to direct a movie. I mean, just physically and mentally. But
Dana fusses over me all the time.
Fusses?
You fuss over me. I want to hear more about you being a telephone psychic when you got...
Yeah, that was...
She worked as a car wash.
I did work at a car for 3 summers, and that was my best job. I worked at Long John Silver's. That was my first job. I worked at an ice creamery serving ice cream, and then I got the job at the car wash. All of those were on this road called Manchester Road on... in St. Louis, out in the suburbs. And I got fired from Long John Silver's. I got fired from the ice creamery. And my dad would say, "Oh, you're just looking to get fired from every business on Manchester Road, I guess." But the car wash stuck. And that was great. There was great money. I was outside just drying off the cars,
How big are tips
simple
in that world? Because I try to tip well, but...
Okay, this
Gorgeous
is like
Jenna.
Yeah.
Like back then. Well, and by the way, they would always make me give the gentlemen back their cars.
Oh, the
you
keys.
Have to
yeah.
You got to stand at the car and wave.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In your little shorts and your little cutoff shirt, and like your car's ready.
I'm soaking wet. Sorry.
I'm not, not to brag, but I would get a 5 sometimes. I get $5.
Fiver.
Mm-hmm. But then I had to put it in like the group bucket.
Oh, no. Pooling tips?
Pooling tips. Yeah.
You're in your...
I mean, a few of them made it into my pocket. I'm not going to lie.
Now, what percentage of you is really a psychic? Do you think some of you?
I would say 0%.
But do you believe in the potentiality of psychics at all?
Yeah.
Or do you think it's all...
They creep me out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want a psychic to tell me what's going to happen to me. I like to believe I have free will.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have that. That just will give me nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
I saw one psychic one time, and it still haunts me.
Yeah. It will change what you'll do. The second they tell you something, you'll make a different decision. That's what I feel. Like, you will do this and this. They go, okay. As they'll say, random example. You'll get married within the next 10 years. So you meet someone and maybe you give them a different chance than you would before. You're like, I think this is the guy I'm going to marry.
That's exactly right.
It's weird. You change, every little thing changes a little bit. So you can't really get the same outcome, it feels.
I went to a psychic in college, and my big question for her was, am I going to marry this guy I have a crush on? I was obsessed with him. Am I going to marry him? I can marry him. She said, no, you're not. You're not going to marry him. She said, but you're going to be famous one day. I said, I
okay.
am. I want to be an actress. I'm going to be famous. She said, you're not going to be famous for acting. You're going to be famous in the world of religion.
What?
Yeah.
Well,
she said I was going to be a famous religious leader.
Well,
She had it with acting. She should have
here's
stuck
a
with that.
review. Here's a review that I brought. Office Ladies is a religious experience. This was from the St. Louis Dispatcher. No, I made that up. Sorry.
Dispatcher.
If you want to have fun.
You have a play, by the way. You've done plays. It looks like from your prep here, you've done plays, but you have another one coming up, Ashland Avenue?
Ashland Avenue, world premiere at the Goodman Theater in Chicago. Yeah, I'm heading out there in August for rehearsals, and then the play opens in September.
Tickets go on sale in June on 27th. Now, doing a play, Dane and I were just talking about this before you came on. Doing a play, is it more exciting, or is it just something I couldn't even imagine wrapping my head around the full script that you have to memorize? Does that take days, weeks, or are you good at that?
It takes weeks. I think I'm okay at it.
Mm-hmm.
Plays are my favorite thing.
Okay.
I was a theater major. There's no money in doing theater, but it's where my heart is. And what I love is that you get to tell the whole story and go on the character's complete journey every night. You don't have to prepare it and then you shoot it out of order. And I also just love that it lives and breathes with the audience, and each play can only be seen one time. Like each performance is slightly different.
Yes.
And you have it, and then just only the people who were there got to see it. It just is really magical to me. And I love it. It's all I want to do moving forward. I want to just be a theater actress.
It's interesting. I've gotten more into plays the last 10 years, just in London. I'm not an intellectual in New York and stuff. And it's interesting, the curtain call, and then they stand and there's a standing ovation. And then you can tell by their body language how they felt, especially when they're walking off. Like sometimes they're slumping, and sometimes you see someone literally twirl around almost or high-fiving.
We nailed
it. You
it.
know that you saw one that had that chemistry. Like you said, they're not always at that level. That's why you have
Right. They're like fingerprints. Dana, I think you'll agree, stand-up is I go on the road, going mostly to places Jenna lived. But when I go on the road, you do a show and everyone goes, oh, I saw your show. But you remember that city and you go, oh, that one went pretty well. Even though it's just microscopically different.
Yeah.
But sometimes you get off and you go, I could not get it going perfectly. And some nights you're like, from the second I went out, it was perfect. I said everything right. I had the right attitude. And so plays are like that, where whoever comes is going to see that night's experience. And it will be a hair different.
The audience is the partner in many ways. Is it comedic, a drama?
They steer it,
or is it a pure drama? Or...
It is a comedy, but it will also break your heart into a million pieces. So what it's about is it's about a guy who owns an old TV shop in Chicago on Ashland Avenue, and he's a guy who used to have a dozen TV shops in Chicago, but mom and pop shops have gone away for the big box, places. And so he's being honored by the city of Chicago for being a small business owner. I play his daughter. And basically it's a play about this man dealing with being in his 70s. And basically life is kind of telling him, we don't really need what you have to offer anymore. He's dealing with his own relevancy. The thing that he's good at is owning this TV shop and selling people TVs. But it's well, you know what? We don't need that anymore. And so what do you do with that when the world is kind of done with your skill? And so it's kind of heartbreaking, but it's also a comedy. And then as his daughter, who has grown up just being in this TV shop as well, and it looks like it's going away, I have to decide, well, I'm kind of getting a chance here to do something else with my life and strike out on my own. And what does that mean to me?
Do you feel like the audience is obviously they're familiar who you are from The Office, and then they want to come see you. And so how different is this character compared to Pam?
This character is different from Pam, for sure. And that's something that's my whole career since Pam is that most people just want to see more Pam. It doesn't totally bother me. But I think I'm going to be, I think you'll be able to go on this journey.
Sure.
Even, I think it'll be okay.
I would say, because an audience, I'm doing stand-up, they do want to see characters that I did on SNL, and I just of course I'll do them. They're my hits. The only thing worse than having hits or a hit show is not having a hit show. So it's just,
there it is. That's right.
Yeah. So it's a good problem to have. And I think that from reading your guest prep, you've just done a lot of stuff since The Office. So it certainly was a starting point for you. Do you still just love it? Do you just love performing like you used
to?
Yeah.
I do. I think I'm a mom now. I have 2 kids. And one of the things that was really hard, though, was just the amount of focus and, frankly, like self-involvement that is necessary to be an actor or a performance artist,
I got that down.
But it's true. Like, you don't want to go all the way into narcissism because that's a real bummer. But there is a type of selfishness and self-involvement that is necessary for being an artist, because that's how you create. That's how you get in the space to create. And but that lane is not compatible with the kind of parent I want to be. I want to be a kid-focused, kid-centered type of parent. And so I have changed the things I've said yes to, or the things I do acting wise since I had kids, mostly so that they were kind of like more softballs, like things I could do without getting too dark or self-involved or selfish, things that I could completely leave at work. I wasn't bringing anything home with me that was going to like bleed into their lives.
Old as show business, all those kind of conflicts. And one thing that occurred to me recently, why it's sort of emotional or personal, like I have a lot of good friends who maybe real estate agents or different type of jobs, but we are our product. Our physicality, our voice, who we are. And so it's a personal thing. You're out there doing the play. And if it's not going well, you didn't feel you had enough time to prep, it's just personal. So I think it is really common and difficult to balance the emotion with the family versus just how personal it is as a performer and artist. It's like,
and when kids come along, you're just, now suddenly it's their world and you can't even help it. It just goes away. You're like, now I'm lasered on this. And I can't be like I was,
That's exactly right.
That's like in part of your life where it changes.
There are some people in show business. I think Beyonce has her daughter touring with her, who's like 12. Yeah. There are some people just do that kind of lifestyle, but
who's richer than me.
That's different than giving your kids kind of a stable, old-fashioned lifestyle.
Well, I remember I talked to a family therapist like early on because I like therapy. And I was talking about wanting to have kids and trying to figure out how am I going to balance that with, being an actor. And she said something that really stuck with me. She said, well, there's kind of 2 types of families. You can have parent-centered homes or child-centered homes. And she's like, and there's no judgment which one you want to pick. But in a parent-centered home, if you have a career, your children will orbit around you and your career. And if you go to a movie, you bring them with you and you have tutors and they sort of like just go into your life. She's like, but in a child-centered home, you center it around the children. And if you need to go do a project, she was like, imagine like your family is flowing like a river. And rather than diverting the whole river to the movie, you take a little stream by yourself, you do the movie, and then you rejoin the river later. But the goal is to keep the river doing its thing. And I really liked that. And I thought, I want to do that one.
Could you, I don't know if you want to do it publicly, but could I get the number of that therapist? Or
I think you gave us solid bullet points.
That's a pretty good little
help us.
What do you call that? An analogy, a metaphor? I don't know. It's one of those things.
It was great. Yeah. It was great. She also said, like, something that's hard though is she said when you pick the person you want to have kids with, she's like, you're going to want a person who agrees with you. because there's nothing worse than one parent who wants a parent-centered home and another parent who wants a a child-centered home. And then she also said people who have grown up in parent-centered homes have a very hard time creating kid-centered homes because they're like, hey, wait a second. I'm the adult now. It's my turn.
Yeah.
So it's right.
For
Like you grew up like revolving around your parent. And then if you revolve around your kid, you're like, when was my shot?
Yeah.
I thought it was just so much to chew on, right?
Yeah, well, the 60s was so different, I guess it was a parent-centric. It was, you just were so much more independent. Like I was walking to school at age 5, and there were no helmets,
for
the
sure.
whole thing. And so it's become very child-centric, It used to be children should be seen but not heard. And now it's adults should keep their mouths shut when we're watching,
And Dana, you wear a helmet now, though, when you go to the mailbox. But that's his own choice.
That's my own choice.
It's a fashion choice. Jenna, two more things before we let you go. But one, I thought when you do a play, I think of this when I do stand up on the road. When you do a play, I think what would scare me is you have to feel good every day. Like you have to go there and prep yourself. It sounds stupid, but to stand, to sit, to go through, to be fully alert for those 2 hours, whatever, that's kind of a hard thing. Does it ever even cross your mind or you're always just kind of pop to it?
No, I mean, I have a bunch of like rituals and superstitions that I do.
Oh yeah, you do. Okay,
yeah.
good.
Do you guys? I have like a vocal warm up. I have like a body warm up. I have a meal that I like to eat because I know that it's not going to make me feel too full or too hungry.
Or sick or anything. Yeah. You don't want a stomach ache.
No, I'm definitely not experimenting with any kind of new food.
Yep.
Do you have that?
Yeah. I mean, Dana and I were just talking last week, like before we went on stage, I get an eyelash in my eye once in a while. It happened last week again, Dana. And anything can happen right before you walk out. And you're like, I can't pee. I can't eat. I can't do anything. I have to feel good for the next hour straight. There can be no distractions. And it's very weird because your life, you can always poke at your phone. You can look at this. You can go restroom and you go this. And a play's even longer. And just to feel like you got a grumbly stomach or your back hurts or something, you're like, oh shit, can I do this? Do I call in somebody? So weird.
I had a shooting pain in my left leg, kind of inside my left leg. And so all of a sudden my left leg was inoperable. I was playing in front of 2,000 people and I was and I'm like, okay, got to go with this, incorporated into the act, and then it worked itself out. What I was interested in also, besides we all do that, and I think it's great. You have the certain show day prep. But the gentleman who is playing your father, what is his name?
Fran Guinan.
So Larry David was just talking about when he does usually whatever he's doing. I don't know if he does stand up or whatever. It's just the fatigue goes away once there's the audience, And then I think in a play, you're holding on to him, he's holding on to you. And that connection can hopefully make the part of your brain going, how am I doing? How's it going? All that go away at times, right? That's the electricity of it. If you get so involved in the scene with your partner that it feels exhilarating, right? When you know you're connecting and the audience is with you. That's what you live for, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's the dope of the whole thing of live performance. I mean, that's the thing we're chasing. That's the high you're chasing.
That's the hit, right?
Every time.
Sure. And even if your prep doesn't go as well as you want or you ate too much, you still always have that possibility of that happening.
Yes. Yes.
And also, if they get something wrong, the audience doesn't know this. They could miss a line, you cover for them. There's little things that are like teamwork things that are fun to do that you get to the end and someone's like, hey, you saved me. I spaced out. And the audience doesn't really know what's going on, but you forgot a prop. There's little things that keep it alive, but that's kind of the fun teamwork of it all, like in a show also.
That happened to me during a show. I did a show off Broadway and me and this other actress were on stage and we're only on stage for like 4 lines because we don't like each other. And we're waiting for the same guy. We like the same guy and we're waiting for him to walk in and break the tension. And he didn't come on stage. he didn't come. He just missed his entrance. And so I started improvising, which then the playwright was like, oh my God, I can't believe people thought I wrote those lines. That was just like terrible improvisation. I'm like, what were we supposed to do?
Right.
We're just sitting there. No one was coming on.
It's an art piece if you sit in silence for 12 minutes waiting while they find the guy at the deli next door.
I like it when someone didn't silence their phone or is talking on the phone, and then the actor in the Broadway show breaks character. Yes. He's in some kind of clown suit or dresses a bear. I will kill you, motherfucker. Just that
clown suit.
It's live. Yeah.
Now, Jenna, my last thing for you is I like that when you audition for The Office, Allison Jones, who's a casting director we probably all three have run into along the way.
The best.
Said, dare to bore me. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I read that.
I like that because most people are trying to give you the biggest pizzazz of a lifetime in an audition.
Well, I had been auditioning for Allison for about 5 years before The Office. I got my first speaking role on a television show. It was Spin City, the Charlie Sheen years. And I had 3 lines as a waitress. And then she would bring me in for other little things.
Sure.
And finally, when it was time for her to cast The Office, I had a good enough relationship with her that I could say, hey, Allison, do you have any advice? I really want this one. And she said, yeah, my advice is don't come in looking hot. Like, don't come in all done up. And by the way, usually the note was, okay, you're playing a pediatric nurse, but like hot. Or like you're playing a school teacher, but like really hot. So like usually the note was look hot.
Mortician, but hot.
But super hot. Like she's really, really hot. And I'm like, okay. So she was like, don't come in like looking hot. Don't come in with a bunch of makeup.
Overdone, yeah.
We want real people. And then she said, we're going to have you improvise during the audition. And my advice is dare to bore me.
Oh,
I was like, okay, great. So I went in and I read the scene. And then Greg Daniels said, okay, we're going to improvise. I'm going to just ask you some questions as if I'm a documentary filmmaker. And I had that note in my head. And he said, do you like being a receptionist here? And I just paused and I said nothing. And then I said, no. And that's all I said.
Well, that's funny.
Because I thought it would be funnier to watch me think of all the things I wasn't going to say than to say any of them. And then also, though, she's like a deeply honest person. So she can't lie and say she does like it, but she's also not going to say any more.
Wow.
And I think that's what got me the job. Greg told me that's what got me the job.
That is so cool. Dare to bore me. That was
Dare to bore me. It was so scary. It's so scary.
Because you want to just go for the fences.
I know.
It's so hard to just have restraint. That's like for me the hardest thing about acting is just holding
and then on the
in
Office,
silence.
You really are working with people that are all doing it, and it's so fucking funny.
It's amazing. It's just amazing thing to have been a part of. It just. I still can't believe it. And just what it means to people, too. Like, that's so cool. I know that The Office has gotten people through hard times in their lives. And, once long ago, I fell down a set of stairs in New York at Budokan. It was during like an NBC event. I was there with Fred Armisen, actually. And I fell down this set of stairs and I broke my back in 4 places.
Oh, Jesus.
And while I was recovering, I watched the Larry Sanders Show. And it was like better than any pain medicine. So like the fact that I can be part of something that is that for other people, like I know what it means to have a thing that like gets you through something. It's really cool.
Wow, that's full circle because I believe that Ricky Gervais felt like he was influenced by the Larry Sanders Show. And then he does the British Office, and then you go to the American Office, and then you break your back, and then you're watching Larry Sanders. I don't know where this keeps going, but there's something kind of cool about that. That was a show that was magic. We were both on it. Were you on it, David?
We were on Larry.
Sanders.
Well, also, we all worked with Greg Daniels, who is a shout out to him, who's a great writer. That obviously SNL.
I remember when Greg Daniels and Conan O'Brien walked into the offices at SNL, fresh out of Harvard, looked like they were sophomores in high school. Little haircuts, kind of nervous, looking around. Yeah, great. Yeah,
and they were roommates.
Yeah,
too.
I know, it's amazing, really. And
the SNL years sweet. You liked. It's like we were propped up by guys like that, and Bob Odenkirk and Smigel and Downey and Frank.
Yeah,
there's so many good writers there.
It's kind of nice when, and I'm sure you just do this. You're not trying to get kudos about it, but if someone says to you later, because not everyone is really friendly when you walk into an environment like that. And they'd say, "Oh, you were so nice to us." I go, "Really? I was? I think I was just like, how you guys doing?" or something. But some people are like, more competition. We don't need you. It's a little, it can be a little cold at SNL. No one's really telling you where you should stand or what you should even do. That's what we learned. A lot of people are like, they didn't even know. No one told them anything, about the show. And they just had to figure it out for themselves. But anyway.
Well, it's an interesting environment. I got to be on the show as part of Steve Carell's monologue once.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I remember
that. And I was, again, like I told you, I'm a Saturday Night Live groupie nerd. And so this was, I don't even remember what I had going on. I got like 24 hours notice. Do you want to come fly in? And I was like, yes. I came in on a red eye. I was like, anything. And to be in the bowels, to like get to be there for the rehearsal. Mm-hmm. And then how like, oh my God, it really does change from the rehearsal. That was nuts. And just, it was so scary. And my line changed and then the cue card changed. And then how we all went into Lauren's office and you're like sitting on the floor, like waiting to hear like what things made it and what didn't. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't believe I was invited. I was like, I just have like one sentence in the opening monologue, but I was like privy to all of the inner workings. It was so awesome.
It is.
And then that night at the after party, I held Lorne Michaels' focus for 30 solid minutes.
Whoa.
And I still to this day, it is one of my best like small talk moments ever. Because I'd met him many times. I had come and I saw when Christina Applegate hosted and when John Hamm hosted, I came as their guest and I would sit and I would run into him and shake his hand and all this sort of stuff. And but for whatever reason, at this particular after party, I got in a whole chat with him about how I like to prep for the apocalypse. And he was very interested in this topic. And we spoke for like a solid 25 minutes.
Wow.
And I wanted to keep talking to him. I wanted to keep going, but I knew that I had to say goodbye.
Yeah.
And I did it. I left at the right time. Mm-hmm. And I'm so proud of myself.
That's
and now I never want to speak to him again. I will never speak to him again. I will not ruin it.
6 years there, I didn't get 30 total.
It was, I'm telling you, I'm never ever want to run into him again.
That was a good subject matter for him. Something that he would be like,
just doesn't talk about every day.
You first have to make sure that you procure a fair amount of water in the event of an apocalypse.
I put Triscuits.
I mean, did he respond at all? Well, I mean, you really talked about your preparation for the apocalypse, like for 30 minutes straight.
For a good amount of time, but then we also talked about the movie The Edge, which is my favorite movie. And, it's a survivalist movie. I love movies where people have to survive things.
I've seen it at least 5 times. And that's a movie. And we told Alec Baldwin that friends come over or relatives, let's watch a movie. And once in a while I go, have you seen The Edge? They go, no. I go, it's just kind of a surefire, great, entertaining film. No one cannot like
Dana, what one man can do, another can do. That's from the movie. What one man can do, another can do. I'm telling you, that's gotten me through like big life moments. I love this movie. And so we talked about The Edge, which ended up leading into survivalist stuff,
I see.
Into prepping. And he was really interested in my currency plans. Like, what were my plans for currency during the apocalypse? Did I have gold bars? Like, and you know what? To be honest, I hadn't thought of it. I hadn't gotten as far as currency.
I was
Shiny
funny when I was
rocks.
there in the fall doing Biden, just behind his desk, I saw this whole duffel bag, you know, it's really big, you know. And then when he left
his
to go
go
use the
bag.
bathroom, it was just all the survival stuff in there.
He goes by and he pushes a wall and it spins around and he
Yeah.
disappears down a
I
slide.
want to be ready.
He was influenced by my prep. I
That
feel
Tony
so
Hopkins
proud.
had that line, right? What one man can do, another man can do. Is that Tony Hopkins?
Yes, correct.
And Al Baldwin.
Was Al Baldwin?
Baldwin was great in that. So was Tony. Oh, I love when people change names. Jen was great on our podcast.
Jen Fisher. Does anyone call you Jen?
No one's ever called me Jen.
Well,
hilarious.
get ready for it because we have a lot of follow. By the way, people may not know, but we're on the same network. It's almost like television now, so that's kind of cool. We're
this is jury duty for Jen,
and I just for people who are watching this or might want to see it. So are you in a studio somewhere?
Yeah, I'm at your New York studios.
Oh,
yeah, I'm here in New York this week, and so I came into the New York studio.
And are you and Angela usually in different places when you do the podcast, and sometimes together, or always?
No,
together?
we're usually together. Odyssey, our company that we both work for, has a studio in Hollywood, and we usually record there in person together.
And
you guys are all set up at home. Like you guys have cool setups, but
we sometimes go in person. We've been going in person.
I kind of feel like I
like
need
in
a
person
background or something. It changes a lot. When I was doing SNL, I was just in a hotel room doing it. That's one of the advantages of this is that you can do it remotely.
If you have to, yeah.
But David has a little studio.
I just have this stupid mansion. Yeah. But Jenna, thank you for joining us. Tell Angela hello, and we appreciate your time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, guys, I don't want it to end. I love you. I love you both. I love your podcast.
Thank you.
This is so cool. This was a highlight for me.
Well, everybody,
that's really
keep
nice.
your eyes open for her
enjoy
play.
talking to you. I just find
you're always sweet and fun, and just like you would think.
Podcasters, actresses, and all kinds of things you do. But if you do this, well, I think you do get a little more adept at doing it. Conversing and letting it go where it needs to go, and asking questions. So usually when we have a podcaster on, it's an easy show.
Right.
Right. Because you know what you're hoping to get when you're doing it yourself.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be electric every moment. You don't have to push it. It just is what it is, so.
If we seem rusty, it's because we've only done 2,000 of these. Okay. Ashland Avenue. Ashland Avenue is the play, and she's doing it in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And
in
it will
Chicago.
be tickets on sale June 27th. And it starts when in August, you said?
I think September 15th.
September. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
September 15th. All right. Thank you very much. Bye, sweetheart. Very good to see you.
Thank you, guys.
Now, don't hang up.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey. Please follow, subscribe, leave a like, a review, all this stuff. Smash that button, whatever it is, wherever you get your podcasts. Fly on the Wall is executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Jenna Weiss-Berman of Odyssey, and Heather Santoro. The show's lead producer is Greg Holtzman. Dana, we got a great, fun comedian on that we both like. We've both known forever, Jerry Seinfeld.
The Jerry Seinfeld, who also did, what was his half-hour show in the 90s called?
It's called Skidoo or something.
Feld.
I know it if I hear it. Feldman.
So anyway, he may be, he wouldn't like this, but he may be kind of an icon at this point, but it was very interesting to talk to him.
That's safe to say. I mean, people throw legend around or, oh my God, you're great. He is one of the best comics to do it. And he's definitely has a show that is arguably the best sitcom, or at least way, way, way up there. Yeah.
Yeah. And we can look now 25 years later, how it's just ubiquitous. It's aired all over the world. And then Jerry is such, at his core, he's a stand-up, and he's a scientist about it and loves to talk about it. So that was very interesting. It was a really fun, interesting interview. It went by very fast. He has a lot to say, and his new movie, Unfrosted. And so we talked all about that the idea of writing and directing a movie, Yeah.
And all the cameos and there's so many comics and funny people that are in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a great nostalgic feel to it. It was a lot of fun, that one. Just sitting with him. I don't see him that much. I see him about once a year somewhere at an event. Never get much time. Everyone's around. So just to sit and
it's in person,
we cracked
by
up.
the way.
Yeah, a lot. Oh yeah. We all did it at my house.
Person.
And we cracked up. It's good to just have hard laughs when comedians are on.
Yeah. Yeah. Jerry loves comedians and loves talking about comedy. And so I think you might enjoy this. I hope so. We did.
All right, here he is.
Here he is, Jerry Seinfeld. Men and women. Do you have any chunk on that?
Yeah, I do.
Well, in the olden days, I think Chris Rock, so you end with male-female relationships.
Yes, I
in
do. The
old
whole second half of my set
is
is marriage and kids.
Did you start?
Yeah.
10 minutes in.
It's pretty good.
we don't have a real start time.
I had a piece. Sorry, buddy.
Are you rolling?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
How's your energy right now? 1 to 10.
7.
Good.
We had the premiere of the movie last night.
I saw it.
Which was, you were there?
No, I saw the pictures.
Oh, you
of
saw the
with
picture.
your family. You were smiling so much in all the pictures.
Because I'm done.
I know.
Almost.
Almost.
This
Yeah.
is kind of
that
embarrassing, but I saw the movie twice.
Wow.
Well, you're cooking dinner. You got it on the laptop. I'm not saying.
Horrible chair, by the way. Work on that.
This chair's
It's horrible.
I always thought you were taller. Why is he in the little kid
I
chair?
don't know if it's.
It's shaped like someone just drew an L and said, pad that.
This chair sucks.
Yeah, chairs are now made for humans. They're actually designed to fit human beings.
This is
not.
This is like
This
Burger
is
King.
designed
They
to
want to
look
get you in and out.
like something.
Are you
Charlie, is
lower
that a
than
better
us,
chair?
or do you have a short torso? Because I see
It's your chair.
Yeah.
I'm
Not
telling you,
mine.
it's a bad chair.
Is Charlie's better?
Oh, you got it?
Oh, this one might be
Okay.
better.
Yeah.
Slightly different.
Chevy Chase sat on that one.
Chair? Okay.
I bet
Yeah,
it's.
this looks better.
I bet it might be a little similar.
I think it's
It's better.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
it's the same chair.
I only saw Unfrosted once. Dana.
I just got
Make
these
sure.
jeans.
Oh, good.
I put them on. I took the tags off this morning, and they fit.
They fit perfectly.
Isn't that great?
What store?
Levi's.
Okay.
Old school. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
What
like
kind
it.
of jeans do you wear?
They just asked me
Just
that for
answer
something.
the question.
Oh. When I was growing up,
Objection overruled.
Yeah.
Your witness,
the
Mr.
difference
Seinfeld.
between men and women. What kind of jeans
I
do
don't
you
really
wear?
know. It's whatever wardrobe has.
He has
and I
a
just take 'em.
professional shopper.
No, I don't, Dana. I used to wear only 501 Levi's, and then somewhere along the way I got lost, and it just turned into brands I didn't know, and they were the exact same, but they cost more.
The Sandler. What is that Sandler thing? I love that you would have a thing of Sandler
I
up here.
know,
That's
I know.
hilarious.
This is his album.
Yeah,
And
100%
then,
fresh.
And there's Norm's book over there.
Oh, that's
There's just
great.
little peppers. Will Ferrell.
That's nice.
It's all
All we have is each other. That's all
comedians.
we have. Yeah, right? I was talking about how the only time I feel really calm
Hmm.
is alone or with a comedian.
Yeah. If I go to like a showbiz event, I will beeline to a comedian.
Yeah. And it's very simple explanation is that we're all on the spectrum.
Is that true?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Nobody cares about the spectrum when you take it out this far.
Right.
It's
A
not the
little
one you
bit
think
is
about.
good, though.
Yeah.
Little bit.
What's his name? Neil Brennan has a funny,
Yeah.
the sprinkle of
Mhm.
Asperger's or
Right.
whatever it is.
Well, he says psychopaths and addicts created
That's
the whole
us?
world, basically.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That was in his last
that-
special.
yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Has Lauren ever told you his thing about funny people?
No.
Because it sounds like something you would kind of agree with. You always,
I
if-
agree with everything Lauren says.
Me too. So
Yeah.
I said I'm moving somewhere, and he always would say something like, "Will there be funny people there?" That's the first one, and then the second one he goes, "Because there's like only 900 of us on the planet." It was specifically 900.
Sound about right?
And
Globally.
globally, because I
That's
remember.
a generous number. I don't-
Whoa, it's
How many-
high.
Yeah, because you would used to say
Take
like
the under.
50 comedians maybe in the country are any good, or
Mm,
25.
that sounds high.
6.
Well, the odds aren't good for us.
Wait, are we in it? That's three. There's
I
three
see
more.
one.
I'm not
Chris Rock.
picking them. I'm not picking them, but
All right.
Right.
It's a rare
You don't
breed.
have to rank them.
I agree. Every time I'm anywhere, and if a comedian walks in, any kind of social event, I'm very happy because they're immediately critiquing the room and analyzing in a funny way.
So if we're a dog, are we Jack Russell? What kind of dog are we? I don't think we're Jack Russell's
no.
too upbeat for.
Yeah, true.
What dog breed would you
A
say?
Yorkie. I kind of
No.
I know.
Our
that's the only
golden
word that popped in
retriever,
my head.
golden
Well, it's
retriever,
a funny
maybe?
dog.
Golden Retriever, too social,
But they're
too
trying to
empathetic.
please.
too empathetic,
Yeah.
and good in social
You
situations.
need cynical, awkward, a little bit angry, and a little bit depressed.
Yeah.
French Bulldog?
Yes. Bingo.
Cat.
For our listeners, look that up. What dog has that?
People like those dogs. They're very popular in New York
Valuable
now.
too, so it's got that in there
Oh.
because they steal them a lot.
They got the ears stick up. I don't
Do you
really
have
get it.
dogs in your?
I used to, but we gave them away.
Okay.
Did Leno take them? Or
No, they were dachshunds, and they were really weak. Really weak
Old?
dogs. No, I mean, they had
Personality.
no act, you know.
That's those little dogs.
If you're a
Doc- yeah.
dog, your
Yeah.
act is tennis balls,
Right.
Mm,
master coming home, beach.
Mhm.
mm,
That's your act. And
Right.
they had no act.
nothing.
The only thing they
No
can
tricks.
do is go to a gopher hole, stick their snout in it, and be still and look down in the gopher hole
Yeah.
for hours.
Not enough
And
for
that's
me.
not really entertaining.
No.
I agree.
Weren't even excited about dinner. They were horrible.
it's
I
bad.
hated these dogs.
You got some lemons.
Yeah.
It happens. Take-
So tell me about. I would
Yes.
like to hear.
What do
We
you wanna
don't
hear?
see each other a lot.
yes, for
The
sure.
tables just got turned.
Yeah.
Ask
Well,
us anything.
I had my own talk show. I know what the hell how to do it.
Ask us anything.
I want to know. Look, no one asked you this.
No one asked us
I
anything.
bring the ridge.
Yeah.
I come with the ridge. I didn't think of this, but I'm looking at you guys.
Yeah.
I want to hear how this. What is this now in your life? This thing you thought it was just, we'll just do some ex-SNL players. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
And then it blew up.
Yeah.
So,
I like the sound of that one.
yeah.
So-
what do you think about this now? Are you glad you did this? What is this?
The only thing I wish about it that I wish it was on
Good
video
question.
because it'd be fun to
You
see
make a
your
lot more
reactions.
money, too.
Yeah, but I do like it because it's kind of old school. It's like a newspaper or a telegram.
Why don't you video it? We're
Um,
just sitting here.
And we have cameras here.
We
it's-
have a second podcast we video.
Yeah, we just started one so we can video and basically
Well,
get
great.
out there because
Yeah, it's so easy now. Show business, boy, they really changed it up, didn't
It's
they?
amazing.
This is it now. This is all a comedian has to do.
Just,
know what's
just
funny?
talk, and you don't have to be funny.
is that a lot
Just
are
talk.
making so much money that it's. You said something the other day that was sort of forgettable, but it was a no. You said something about movies, and it sort of rang true with me that movies aren't the pinnacle, and it always was, always, and now
Always was,
you
yeah.
can make more in stand up. There's these guys that are playing arenas and going on tour, and they go, I don't even have time to do a movie because I'm making so much money. It just and it doesn't help me
Let's
enough.
take the money out of the
Okay,
equation for a second.
break it down.
Let's pretend we
Yeah.
actually care
Right.
about the comedy.
Movies
the
are
comedy.
over was how you record.
Movies are over,
Yeah.
which was really fun. And they asked what replaced it, and I
That's a
said
good line.
disorientation is what is the new pinnacle.
Well,
We're all feeling somewhat disoriented.
mm,
I think that you can't just talk about money because
No.
you're gonna go down a bad road
Sure,
in your work if you really just go, I'm making more
it's
money.
exciting in the beginning, but then you got to.
Yeah, if what you have to accept is that we have to chart a different path. Yeah, I saw it. Nate Bargatze last night, and Ted Sarandos was there, and he's working on putting some kind of show together. But Ted said he's going to lose money. It's so funny now,
It's all
right?
money.
He would lose money doing a show,
doing
but
anything else. Yeah.
don't. This is the thing I really hate. I've always hated about comedy is that we have to do other things. None of us want to really. This thing we do like. This kind of
Yeah.
work is fun.
you
right?
had it on wheels, basically.
I had it on wheels. I loved it.
Yeah.
But I had to edit. You don't have to edit.
Yeah.
Well, this is at times. Now it's a long form talking with you and stuff. But times it's like behind the scenes at SNL before you had to hone your sketch down, the best improv and the best lines were just in the writer's room, or me and
Right.
Kevin Nealon would laugh for hours doing
Yeah,
Hans and
yeah.
Franz. And so now we can, and I know you loved it.
I did.
So now we can do this. But I would say one unexpected thing about this is the camaraderie is now omnipresent. We're seeing all these SNL people, comedians,
Right.
and we're like, when will we again be across the table
Yeah.
for an hour? You know, it just so you're meeting
catch
people
up,
for the
yeah.
first time, and
Right.
you feel such empathy for them
know.
and their journey and how they're feeling. And so it's more emotional.
That
really, than I
happened to
thought.
me on Comedians in Cars. And
Yeah.
now I'm friends with Eddie Murphy, which we weren't friends
Yeah.
before. And everybody on the show. You know, you're texting, and it's so nice.
You do a
Yes.
long chunk of time. We talked to Chloe Fineman the other day. We both
Neil
don't know
Brennan,
her.
we
She's
had
awesome.
on.
And then you sort of have a new thing. You go, wow, they were very interesting. They know about their life
So
more.
the thing is, I guess that we're just interesting to listen to for people.
I don't know if that's true.
I mean, I would never. I mean, unless it's somebody I really like,
Yeah.
why would you listen? Do you listen to podcasts?
No.
Yeah, but you have.
I have.
Did you ever listen to one and like it?
I kind of, the thing is about entertainment now, Jerry, this is something that you would observe. People are always doing other things. When you're at a comedy club, you're at the
Right.
club. You may be getting a drink, but you're watching the comedian.
Right.
Everyone listening to this will be doing something else.
Yeah.
Gardening, walking, mostly driving. They'll be distracted.
12% this.
So we don't
Right,
have
I
to be
see.
that good.
Right, but we're still
But we're
good
still-
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Howard Stern invented this, right?
Yes.
But we're better than him now.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
Howard is interesting. Howard is a great interviewer, but comedy chops. I mean, can we speak candidly?
Sure.
No. Well, he got Robin.
Well, he gets serious,
And Robin
too.
is a big part of how
Yeah, they're
he's
all
funny.
great, but
Yeah.
let's face it.
Let's be honest.
He's been outflanked by some and yourselves. I would say is absolutely. This show is comedy podcast. This is the best one on the air.
That's nice. Thank you.
Yeah, because
right.
you guys are you play
Jeez,
nice together. You're smooth. You don't. You're not. Jumping on each other, which is annoying to listen to.
We're friends. We don't
Yeah.
compete. We really don't.
Right. He cracks me up. It's fun to hear him. I like to hear him
Yeah.
score. I like to talk to guys like you. It's not always this level, but anybody in comedy is interesting to me, and we're all a little damaged and beat up, and it's fun to hear. So some are tougher than others. You probably, when you interview, sometimes it is
Well,
work.
that's why I had to edit it. I couldn't put that out to people with the
You
best
wouldn't put
stuff.
'em through
I
it?
couldn't do it. No. And then I got tired of doing all the editing.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do think that people, like with a stand-up, if they love a stand-up, you or David or whatever, part of it is they're on your team. They're buying the ticket. They're there. They're already rooting for you. You're their friend. You're their guy. Jerry's smart. Jerry does this. This is my guy. So if you don't kill that night, you're
Yeah.
still Jerry. So they just like to listen to us. If they've seen me on SNL doing
Yeah.
crazy stuff, now they're hearing me now. There was none of this before 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
Who knew there was a market? Who knew people wanted to
Never.
get to know us?
Never.
Yeah.
Who
yeah.
gets the credit for who figured it out?
Dennis Miller.
He did?
I made that up.
No, it's not Dennis.
No.
Christ's
You know,
sakes,
Howard.
Who did the first big comedy podcast that people liked?
That was funny. I mean,
Rogan?
Mark Maron
No.
is more
Maybe
serious.
Mark
Mark
Maron.
Maron.
Ours isn't that serious. We don't dig. We don't want to know that much.
No, we like to
No.
We don't
very
want to put people on the
surfacey.
spot either.
Jesus Christ, make us laugh. How
Jesus Christ.
interesting do you think you are?
Yeah.
You're not that interesting, okay? You're
Right.
not.
Right.
When you're funny, you're worth it.
Yes.
This is my line, which you know me.
Yeah.
I know you have a
me.
lot of great
Yeah.
lines.
No, but you know that I draw that line. If you're not funny, we're not that interested in you.
It's so
That's
great.
still my true North Star.
Yes.
If I do stand
Yes,
up,
you
I'm like,
are.
I'm trying to really be
yes,
funny.
you've always been that way
I did- I
since
don't
you and I
wanna-
hung out.
Yep.
What year? 81? We've known each other?
I think you might have blown through
Not in the 70s.
well,
Maybe.
late 70s, 'cause
maybe.
because you were
I'm so
we're like
young.
14 months apart in age or something, but you
Uh-huh.
and Jay Leno always seemed like my dad in a way.
Yeah.
You were so much more professional. In fact, you're the first comedian I ever saw with an act, a real act. That was at the other cafe in
I
San
remember
Francisco
it. I
at the
remember.
Haight-Ashbury.
Yep.
And our bits were all discombobulated.
Yeah.
All of it was running into a corner ditch. And this was late 70s, and like you had all this stuff laid out.
Stuff,
I'd never
yeah,
seen
shit.
anything like that.
Yeah.
And it was like, but you advised me don't go in the comedy competition. You don't need it.
No,
this was
The
don't do
laugh
that.
off.
No.
San Fran laugh off.
I did one. Came in second.
Who beat you?
George Wallace.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, 78.
You put him in Unfrosted.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
He has a funny line too. I love other people's anguish.
Is that what he says?
He's a bartender. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He says, trouble keeps me in business. I love other people's
I remember
anguish.
that. What about my
Funny line.
remembrances of Jerry Seinfeld are you don't always remember your openers. No one always does, but we did San Diego Improv on Garnett,
We'll never forget
and
that.
it was fucking great. And then I had my Honda, and I had my skateboard in the trunk, and I would skate around. And
Right.
I think you thought that was interesting. And because I was so young, like, what was I doing there? I was in Arizona. And then my recollection, which is funny that what you remember, I don't remember all comics, obviously that you were good, but when you're doing like 45, every comic I'd worked with, it wasn't that many, has the same 45 like stamped out on the road.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if you see him 5 years later. And you did 45, and the next night I watched, you flipped about 20 of it. It was different. I was like, I couldn't believe you had different stuff. And then you flipped it again the next set. It's maybe out of boredom. That's what I would have done now. But I was like, oh, he's flipping the order, and he's also changing different material. So you have that much material. So I was just a fan across the board of that, and you were cool to me.
Thanks.
And which
We had fun. Isn't it funny how, I remember that so well. I remember sitting in your apartment in San Francisco so well. You guys don't think that I have forgotten any of these things.
I just think that there's so many memories, and I was newer. Maybe later you'd remember, but when I have openers, some people say I remember. I go, oh yeah, now that you say it, I remember something like that.
It's weird. It's weird, but
when you hang out with people, if I hung out with Steve Carell, it would all be about the show we did, and I would go right back to '96.
Yeah.
Just that it got canceled, but it wasn't Seinfeld. Put it that way.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you a question. Do you
Sure.
think that most comedians, even the good ones, are essentially lazy?
First of all, so impressed that you have questions.
Yeah.
Is this a little preparation?
This is out of respect. This
That's
is
so.
You know what this is, Jerry?
I'm so flattered.
You and Jim Gaffigan are the two that I've most seen this really discipline. I don't even know if you call it a discipline. Willingness to tape the act, sit with it, work on the bit. If it's not working, like you had, I had a bit once that I could never get to work without saying fuck.
Right.
And it really frustrated me.
That's interesting.
And I tried all these different combinations.
Right.
It never got quite.
Very interesting.
But I only had one fuck in my act.
Right.
Did you ever say, what is the fucking deal?
I did. I had one in a Superman bit, but I'm going to answer your other question because it's a really good one. I had one in my Superman bit, was one of my first bits about that Lois and Jimmy were these reporters, and they were always tied up in an effing cave. And how are they doing their job, Yeah. And if I took the F out of it, nothing, no laugh. So that bothered me. I go, so it's not funny unless I say effing cave.
Well, especially if comedians use it casually. I go, if you're going to use, we'll call it the F word.
Yeah.
Make sure it's a punchline. Just don't go,
Why?
how the fuck are you doing? Well, you're wasting. If you might get
it's all wasted.
one
It's
laugh.
all wasted.
But did you ever figure you couldn't get it to work the same way?
No, I couldn't get it to work, and I thought, well, then that's not funny.
You're like, that's
what,
not
what
funny.
the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
Aren't I supposed to be good with words? Isn't that kind of part of this job?
Yeah.
But as we know, there are many, many people, great, great comedians who use a lot
yeah,
of
of
profanity
course. Yeah.
and use it beautifully. 99% do not.
Right.
But some do. So I can't say I don't have a problem with the word.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to be good with language. I think that's
Right.
what they're paying to see. Back to your question.
Then I have
Are comedians lazy?
Generally speaking.
All humans
are
lazy.
Yes.
Period.
Always
Right, but
the-
they're not standing on a stage getting no laughs because of the laziness.
No. All humans are lazy. Period. Comedy is the hardest thing to write or do in humanity.
Comma. I was thinking you had more.
No, I don't have any. There's
Yeah.
not.
So
look,
it can't be
we
that
all know
lazy.
writers.
Yeah.
My friend Barry Marta says, you think you're funny, or you want to be in the business, you want to do. Write me
Yeah.
one page of stand up, 1 page,
Mhm.
and you see exactly how
Right.
chops or no chops.
Yeah.
1 page of stand. Writing stand up. It's poetry that makes air burst out of your mouth. That's what it is.
Let me ask you a question. What I find...
No, please stop announcing questions.
I want to...
Stop. I have a question. Question for you.
Edward R. Murrow was my grandfather.
I have
my
a quick
mom's
question.
side.
Yeah, quick question
It's
is
okay.
the worst.
I have a
you just doubled the length.
I have a
question. That's how much you know about quickness.
I'm going to ask you a question. This one's very serious. No, go ahead.
Do you do any race jokes? A lot of comics are doing race jokes.
I don't have any. I would do any joke I could think of that works, that I like. I don't have anything on race.
Race.
But why would you ask that question?
Because some African American comics have race jokes, and it doesn't seem like a lot of white comics have race jokes.
Yeah.
We'll take this out.
I mean,
No,
I'm
going to ask you a question. Why did you pause there?
Because what he said was so stupid, I didn't know how to respond.
No, I have another one.
Gee, I wonder why black people think about race more than white
No,
people.
I know. I'm just saying, is it possible?
I wonder if I ever
I wonder if that has something to do with their life experience.
Well, is it possible to
America.
make fun of race if you're white? That's what I'm saying. Is it too touchy, or is it just too off limits, or is it just better left unsaid?
This thing, I really, really get ill when
It's a great face.
when I hear, as a white guy, oh, I'm white. I really hate that crap.
I don't like any of that. White
I hate
guy,
all that. Yeah,
black guy, this guy.
but I do love, and you'll say, but so hacky. I absolutely love any. Black people do this, white people do this. Yeah. I love that bit.
Never
I don't care who
work.
does it.
Yeah,
I don't care what you got. I love that bit.
Yes.
It's funny.
Yeah.
If you got Steve Harvey, the yellow suit special, white man fishing, black man fishing. Come on.
Yeah.
I love that.
Have you ever seen Steve Harvey's bit? It's on YouTube. See, where if baby boomers went to war. And
No.
It's so brilliant.
That's funny.
It's like 9 minutes, and it's extraordinary.
That's great.
I need a
So
9
that's
minute
what
bit.
I care about, because
Yeah.
we were talking about money or something before.
Yeah.
I don't care how many tickets you sell. I don't care where you're playing. I don't care what you're raking in. Let me see the stuff. If you've got great stuff, I am really envious and impressed.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't care. So what are you going to do with this money? How many square feet is your house? Who cares how far you walk to take a leak? I
totally agree.
Bits. Bits is our only currency. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes, and people ask, did you always think this and that? And I'll ask my wife, because I met her in '79. Did I ever mention getting rich and famous? She says, never.
Right.
Right.
Never. I was only
Right.
trying to kill in the club, be as good
Yes.
as
Right.
Leno.
You are one of the great kill.
Club, though.
You're kill obsessed, which
I
is
am.
what makes a great comedian. You are up there, and I think I'm not at your level, but I have that. I have got to get these people. I have to get these people.
Yeah.
That's what I care about more than anything.
Yes, I do. And
It's nice to live a nice life, of course. It's nice
Yeah.
how we live and all that. But
the best thing ever
it's
in the clubs,
about that.
Jerry, was a woman with a napkin going like this, right in the front row,
Yeah,
because you know that you've
Dabbing.
reorientated her world.
that's
you know?
it. That's
Well, turning a crowd around is a good feeling.
Yeah.
If it's not working, and you're trying every trick in the book, and it starts to come around, and you're like, oh my God,
Oh my
30
God.
minutes in, and
Yes.
I've got them.
Did you ever open for music in the day, and go out?
No, that's too
ice
tough.
cold?
I think. Is it?
Did you do that?
Oh yeah, a lot.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun, right?
It can be. I opened for Todd Rundgren. I opened for Robert Palmer. I
Yeah.
opened for 10 year Tower of Power. Sometimes your
I love all those
hero
acts.
will be on in a second.
Yeah.
But first, this is me in
It's a big
1978 going to
challenge.
college. Dana Garno. Boo! Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Doesn't that make a man out of you?
Yes.
It does. It does.
I did for Kid Rock, in a
Wow.
like a probably 7,000 seater outdoor
Wow.
to boot.
Wow.
Mhm.
Did I get them? Let's look at a clip.
When's the last time you really bombed?
Yeah, do you still bomb a lot?
Like in
No,
your mind, like you were off.
Look, I'm not going to tell you where and when it was. But
No, don't.
Recently, it was
Winnipeg.
It was
in
within
August?
a couple weeks ago, and I came off and went, "That was shit." And I was really, and I'm still. I have a set tonight at the Hollywood Bowl. We're doing. Is this?
That's gonna be great.
Is this? When is this?
This
drop?
airs in 2 years. No, the Hollywood Bowl sounds like such a fucking fun show. Is it
It'll
you,
be really-
Gaffigan,
Gaffigan,
Bargatze,
and Bragazzi?
and-
Yeah.
yeah,
Sebastian. Who's
and
following Sebastian?
Here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, how you gonna
we're
do
gonna
it?
go out with a top hat with 4
Oh, I
numbered
love
balls.
it. I love it.
So you might open.
I might open.
Yeah, I love it.
In your mind, you
not
may not want to
opening.
answer this. Who's the hardest to follow of those three?
Following is a philosophical. We
No,
could do a
I think
whole
there's an
thing on
energy
following.
thing there.
No.
I would say
Following is
Sebastian.
me versus me.
Yeah.
I'll follow.
Oh, I
anybody.
see what you're
I
saying. Yeah.
followed.
So they're all equal.
I followed Cosby after 9/11. We did a benefit at Carnegie Hall,
Right.
And I followed Cosby, who I was adored as a child, and
Yes.
sat there on the floor playing "Why Is There Air"
Oh, yeah.
over and over and over, and I followed him. It was no problem.
Yeah.
So following, that's it. We
What,
can get
what,
into a
what
technical
about
discussion of what
Kennison?
follow-
Did you follow
Oh, yeah,
Kennison in his prime?
Oh, well, now you're talking.
I did,
it's
and I bombed.
Right.
I had 5
But
minutes.
that's loud too. Loud is tough.
Loud is tough, but you know, look, have you ever remember in the old days we used to flip around TV and you're watching a cartoon and then you're watching porn and it's no problem. You can change
Yeah.
you can change
your
lanes.
gears,
The human
yeah.
brain is built to change
No,
lanes.
you need a minute. So if I follow Dennis Miller and when he's really got them, I can follow it, but you have to deal with his energy for a couple
No,
minutes.
forget it.
Well,
Carvey's
None
tough.
of his energy is none of your business.
Okay.
it stays there for a moment. You can't,
Yeah, that's none of you. That's not your problem.
I just go out and do something like that. Say I'm playing Tucson. I go, "What's up, Tucson?" and I have them.
Okay, last night I did a set, right? But I'm on the bill, so they know I'm there, and that only matters because John Mulaney comes in, and he does a guest set, and so he's very hard to follow anyway. And he's I'm not saying I don't agree with you, but he's also a guest set, so it's even better. You know what I mean? He's a surprise.
Right.
He goes off, and you want to tell the MC, which you would never do. Do one joke in the middle, but I didn't even say that.
No.
Didn't use that bullshit, that
No,
crutch.
screw that.
I just said, bring me right the fuck up.
That's right.
And then I went up and I just said, John Mulaney, great. You guys got lucky tonight. And then I go right into it.
Yeah.
And I did good. And
So-
it's hard.
It's
saw
So you
hard.
just go right into it. You go, I got to floor it because
Yeah.
you can't be the one they take the night off on. You know, if there's great comics in a row like you four tonight, sometimes they go, I've laughed too hard. If someone their first joke doesn't work, they go, yeah, let's get some beers. And then everyone kind of goes down for you and you go, oh, this is the one they took off on. They just kind of said,
Well,
all right, he's not going to be that great.
in your case, Jerry, I saw it up close. It was at the comic strip.
Ooh.
Must have been early 80s.
Oh my
or
God!
mid-80s.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're going into the files.
So
now.
there was
Fine.
there was a lot of stuff going on. Like people were killing or drinking. The room was completely unsettled. This before you were Jerry Seinfeld.
All right.
So you came up and I was just in the back watching. And you're doing your thing. No laugh. No laugh. No laugh. But you're not losing it. You just keep going and going. And after about 7 or 8 minutes, you started to get him, and then you ended up killing. And I remember, I never forgot that. I go,
Wow.
this guy
You don't give
is
up.
bombing, but he's just laying out these great bits one after the other. No one cared. Everyone's talking.
Right.
But you wore them down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
See,
Well,
I gave
that-
you a compliment.
Thank you. Thanks, Dana. That's so nice. Well, we could.
He calls
talk-
it out too. Here's a compliment.
Yeah.
No,
The
you know,
PR guy. You're not
corporate
just
gigs are like that. Corporate gigs, sometimes you can get them after like 20.
Yeah.
They start hating you or just they don't care about you. And then they start to go,
Corporates are
what
a
the
whole
fuck's this
other-
guy talking about? And then they start to get some smiles. And then if you, that's a big victory, especially a corporate gig.
Yeah. So you do corporates. We all do them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you saw the house.
Yeah.
I think I get this from getting $28 at the Improv.
I used to do like 50
No,
a
They're
year,
paying real
60
money
a
at these
year.
clubs now.
At the clubs.
Yeah, these clubs you get making hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, you get it's up to 50. No, not 100, but
No.
it's up
Well,
there.
400 seaters, 2 shows. Would you ever do 2 shows anymore?
Yeah, I still do.
Okay.
In one night.
Yeah, one night.
Wow. What is your perfect size venue? A lot of people brag like we played this and it's
I
bigger
don't
and bigger.
like to even.
you wouldn't
but don't you?
care
What's
if
a good
it's,
type? Is
It's
it
not my job.
is a couple thousand where you want to stop and
It's
say?
not my job. The stage is my job. I don't care who's out there.
I know. I'm saying.
I don't
Do you
care.
like it? You don't care.
I don't care what I like.
So if they,
I know what you fucking like.
would you prefer
I do like
screens
that.
or not screens? You don't care.
I
If
don't.
it's 20,000
Caring is not my
seats,
job.
Do you want the microphone
It's-
to actually amplify? That's not your
Do
job.
I love arenas? No.
Thank you. There we go. We cracked him down. We broke him.
I don't love
Okay,
it.
Jerry-
But it's not my job to
If
think.
you're hired,
Jerry,
you're
let
supposed
me-
to do good no matter what.
What?
Are you saying if you're hired, you're there, you do
I'm
good
here
no
to
matter
do the
if
best
it's
I
one
can.
person or 100,000?
The best I can with your setup. That's
Jerry,
my job.
I have
Okay.
a question for you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to answer.
Good attitude.
I know what you would have done.
That's very
So I'm
political.
playing-
This gesture is like,
There he is, Jerry
Yeah.
Seinfeld. Funny.
Don't you love Dana?
Good.
Just quick.
Yeah.
When they go,
Energy.
look. The word look is like, I what do I say? You know, when they get asked the
Yeah.
question, look.
And I disagree with everything you've just said. Who had the bit where they have the glasses on and they go, "What do you mean my son's gay?" Who was that guy?
I don't
can't
remember.
But anyway,
I
so-
had a putting a cigarette out bit to end the argument.
I had
Remember
one of
that
those.
bit?
But I used to do it that people who smoke when they're not annoyed by the smoke until they put it out. So anyway, that was great. Went to the pool.
Don't forget your question. I want to.
What about the
Okay, here's
doctor
the
eating
question:
chips?
What Jerry Seinfeld would have done?
Yeah.
Maybe 1,000-seater out in West Virginia.
A little soft.
Jay Farrell played the night before, so I said, sounds just like Jay. I mean, how's the sound? I didn't do a sound check. Oh, yeah, it's great. Sounds great. So I go up, huge slap back. Hello, 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 hello.
Oh, horrible.
I don't think they can fix it, or they would have. So I had to do the whole set feeling like I was in a fishbowl.
Oh, that's hard.
Trying to,
That's really hard.
Because you start.
No, it wasn't hard, because hard's not my business.
Yeah.
No, hard is your business.
You-
No, I go,
hard
"Yo,
is
the
exactly
choice
your
is just
business.
to suck it up and do it.
That's right.
Or to go, could you guys?
But you start to have a mini production meeting because you're trying to be funny. But you're like, "Hey guys, this guy from DeVry over here." But honestly, could you fucking fix this? And are you hearing that? And then blah blah. And are these lights too bright? But you try to work it in, but you can't just stop and go, "Okay, here's what's going on." Because if they can't fix it, now the audience is onto it, going. Oh,
I
so-
did a show 2 weeks ago, and I said 10 minutes into the set, please go to the box office and ask for a refund if you're not happy. And $4,000 had to be returned because they cocked
couldn't
up
hear.
the sound. They cocked up the sound.
Oh.
So, by the way, when you had that bad set, did you think you were just? Sometimes I feel like the audience.
It was
is
a
better
B.
than
It's
me.
a B.
Yeah, I was about
But
to
I
say
mean-
easy,
But
Dana.
when
It was
you
bad
felt,
set.
sometimes the audience, you're better than the audience. Sometimes the audience is a little quiet and you're really on, and sometimes the audience is really good, and I feel just a
I
little.
always
Yeah,
tell-
that's all fine.
Yeah.
But
Good.
there are those shows where you can't get that coat off. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You walk in someone's house, you got your coat on,
Yeah.
and your job is to
Mm-hmm.
take your coat off and just be comfortable in their house.
Mhm.
And that's a set. When you get your
Mm-hmm.
coat off in front of the audience, okay, I'm here with you. We're socializing, quote unquote, and I
Yes.
couldn't get off of myself.
Yeah.
You know, I have a trainer guy, Adam Wright, and he's a sports psych. He works for a lot of teams, a lot of Olympians, and we discuss the negative voice a lot, which every comedian is intimately acquainted with. The war between you and the negative voice on
Right.
stage, telling you, why would you even go into this field?
Right.
It's clearly not your
Yeah.
forte.
It's not
Yeah.
working.
You know.
It's not working.
Tennis is very strong. Tennis, golf, and stand-up. If you have to have a strategy for the negative voice, or you won't be able to play.
I would say, like, the code analogy for me is sometimes I forget to say this one thing right before I go out. Have fun.
Oh,
And if I forget to say that and I'm out there and why is this not feeling good? I'm not having fun.
right.
But the good sets are like you're having fun. It's a subtle distinction. But if you forget to have fun and that voice is really loud, the best is when the voice is gone.
Right.
That's the best.
Yeah, it's very hard to completely.
Yeah.
But fun is not really a good
It's an internal
clinical
feeling.
word. The sports psychology word is flow. That's the state that you seek in writing or
Yeah.
performing or socializing. Flow is really the word. It is.
Right.
It is a bit overused, but there's no better word for it.
Would you
When you're
accept
in
zone?
Tone?
Zone?
Zone.
Yeah, zone. I'll accept zone.
Okay.
I'll accept.
But
zone.
flow is a little more.
Flow
Nails
has
it.
movement.
Yeah.
And that's what you're always trying to find. You know, let me try and do this bit a little different. Maybe I can find fun or
Right.
flow. But when you get flowing and then they get flowing and then you don't have to work.
Well, it's like you're enjoying it and they can feel it.
Yeah.
And it feeds. It's a feedback loop.
Mhm.
You know, you guys are seeing the really good show.
Right.
Do you ever do that? Do you ever like it's going really well and you say, you guys are really great tonight? Do you?
I can't do that.
I didn't
can't.
think you would.
No.
I didn't think you would.
I tell them it's their fault when they're not laughing.
Yeah.
I got to let them know.
What I will say is my version of that is I'll just take a sip of water and go, let's go to work.
Okay.
That's what I'll say. That's my way of saying this is a good crowd. I'm into this.
I have a theory that most comedians, especially the all-time greats, have a little bit of a tell for the audience, and that's a little giggle. And if you look at Pryor had the a constant little
funny.
thing.
That's funny.
Louis C.K. will do 8 or 9 minutes, and then once in a while he'll just do a big laugh, just like.
Oh,
and
really?
you'll do it. And then you'll put a little laugh in every once in a while. It's very subtle.
Yeah.
But they're seeing that you're enjoying it.
Yeah,
You know?
I've seen
So-
that.
Well, your eye is stunning, by the way. You have an amazing eye.
Thank you.
That you picked those. That you know that and you tweezered those out. That's great.
Well, now
That's
I'm
great.
just curious. I
I got a tweezer for you.
I like
Yeah.
to see a great comic that
Watch
doesn't
this.
have one.
I don't think you
Not
do.
sure.
I don't think you do a tons of crowd work.
No.
From when I've seen you.
I do. My encore is always Q&A. I take. So
Oh,
that-
okay.
I guess that's crowd work.
That's just fun, right?
But
Yeah,
you don't open
Yeah.
with it. So you win them over without it, and then you
Mhm.
have it at the end. But a crowd work thing that's funny is when someone goes, "Hey, blah blah blah," and then they answer, and then if it doesn't get a laugh, he goes, 2 weeks ago in Cincinnati, I asked this lady the same question. I go, "You're reliving a joke that wasn't from this crowd? Have you seen that trick?"
Oh yeah.
It's hysterical.
Yeah. It's.
I saw it last night. I was like, "Ay caramba!"
How do you feel? This is a younger person's thing that they do.
This one's for
I'm
me.
curious if it bothers you. Any comedian that says, "When I wrote that joke," that's not really part of the show, dude. Don't.
It's not really fun.
No,
We've come here.
Dude.
no.
We've come here to hear. Let's play the illusion that you're this
Let's
funny.
have the magic. Yeah, the
It's
rabbit
illusion.
will appear, and we don't know how it got out of the
Yes,
hat.
we don't
Yeah.
say when I wrote this show.
Right.
Please.
Now, when you're watching stand-up or watching a special, do you find yourself being analytical a little bit?
What are you talking about?
Well, you're going, oh, he's doing that bit. Oh, he's doing, just watching the stand-up, maybe a young stand-up. It's all right. We can move on.
Wow.
Note to self,
That was
never bring up.
worse than the race.
Sorry about
question.
him. Sorry about him.
You sit down for a
It was. Thank God.
No,
Thank God.
You're just saying it's so obvious that you do.
I am always. We're always have the meter running in the cab. We're watching.
Yes,
How
but-
when I watched Nate when I called.
Great writer.
Yeah,
great
and I
stand-
watched his second special, and I wasn't really that into him. I hadn't seen.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. I hadn't seen much of him. But the second one, his laugh per minute rate
Yep.
was so high.
LPMs.
Yeah.
So you called
So
him.
that I called him and I said that was a really. And my daughter is writing comedy, and I said this is what we call tight. This is
Yeah.
what this defines tight.
Yes.
And so the meter's running, but I will totally get lost in anybody I like. But that other thing is also there.
Well, once in a while, stand-up has someone come on. It's kind of they have their moment, And so I think it was 7 or 8 years ago when I just was going through and watched Sebastian, his first kind of special.
Yeah.
And his physicality.
Yeah.
And his rhythm is
Yeah.
sitting there. He's clipping his toenails over there, eating the Cinnabon,
Yeah.
and I was just like, "Okay, this is a rebirth for me. This is new, familiar
Yeah.
but new." And I knew
Right.
that was his moment.
Right.
And I'm trying to think the current, but that happens once in a while.
You know, it's funny,
Yes,
I
it
did
lasts
the-
a few years, and then
Not
and then
often.
Not on.
not often.
Once a decade.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably.
definitely.
It
I
was
think
Louis,
Nate is having his moment. Sebastian had his
Yeah.
a few years ago. Who was before that? Chris?
Well, Louis
Louis. Yeah, Louis.
Louis had his moment.
It's quite rare. It's quite
Yeah.
rare when all the pieces. Come.
Nate does have a high
yeah.
slugging percentage of like,
Oh yeah.
you keep watching, you go, wow. Because a thing that I was not accustomed to, and you probably weren't more, is when a new thing of doing tour special.
Right.
And I always feel like the first one's probably the best special.
Yeah.
And then these are the second best jokes.
Mhm.
Then the third. It just feels like just because how hard I work on just jokes to work, and I hate throwing them in the garbage. And
yeah, me too.
And you don't really have to, I guess, because I sort of like a little mix. I like stuff that I love, and I like stuff that, like, if you were on, I wouldn't mind if you pulled out They've Seen the Fork or whatever that joke is.
Yes, I still do that.
You know?
But I hate to tell you this.
Yeah.
We're old and out of it.
Yeah,
that's just not the way it's done.
I'm told every day.
Of
Yes.
course.
But if I went to see George Carlin, I would love if he did baseball and football.
Oh, yeah.
I would love that.
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
yeah.
Is
But
I love
I
that
think
shit.
our day is past.
No,
I
it's-
remember a comedian coming to
done.
the Punchline in San Francisco. It might have been Frank Orshin or something.
Wow.
The impression. But he was like
Oh, I love him.
55.
The Riddler?
Right.
And I was like, what is he even
That's-
doing this for?
Why would you still
Why is
be
he
out
even
of the
in show
house?
business?
Yeah.
I was 26.
Do you remember Denny's joke? For some
Denny
reason,
Johnston.
No, Denny Miller.
The Denny.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember? For some reason, I want to see Nancy Reagan in Frank Gorshin's old Riddler costume. Do you remember
Is that
that
what you
joke?
said?
I think
Oh, my
about that joke at least once a week because I love that joke so much. It's
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. You know, he has to say Frank Gorshin's old Riddler
And you
costume.
see the image
yeah, and you
immediately.
get that image.
The green tights.
Yeah. I mean, Dennis, I love Dennis.
Dennis, my favorite one. I don't know why this one always stuck in my brain.
Yeah.
He's up there and goes, Jimmy crack corn and I don't care.
Yeah.
Big pause. What the kind of hell attitude is that? Just, I'm so glad you're laughing that hard.
Yeah,
I love Dennis so much.
Dennis
I love
is
him.
brilliant.
I love him.
mean,
He was the one when I started, when I would go to the improv when I was like that old, I was probably 20, 21, and the chalkboard. And it would be guys like you and Leno and maybe Dennis and Kevin. Not so much Dana because he was more up in San Fran when I started, but I'd see him.
Mhm.
But I would go in there and it was such a great comedy school just to watch and go, fuck, is everyone this fucking good? I mean, it's unreal.
what
Like,
about his big gulp one?
you know what I mean?
You know, big gulp,
Oh, yeah.
32 ounces of liquid. Who needs that much liquid? I just stepped off the surface of the sun. I'm a little parched. You know,
Yeah.
something.
You can only drink with a fucking undertow. Park
Got a
your
life
jet
to lead,
skis.
cha cha. Or the guy who didn't forgive the Pope. You're lucky my chick's not here.
Yeah.
So funny. Yeah, Dennis got a million. But I
Yeah.
think in the Hall of Fame of our generation, I think of you and Leno and
Oh,
Dennis.
thanks. You know, I saw
Um,
Jay last night.
Yeah.
Jimmy, we had the premiere of Unfrosted last
Yeah.
night. Jay was there. Jimmy Brogan was there. Larry
Oh,
David
Jimmy
was
Brogan,
there.
Yeah, okay.
And I felt like I was getting married
Oh, they
to
all
myself.
showed up.
It was like
Well, yeah.
it's like, well, there's the life. That was the life. That
Oh,
was
fun.
it.
Yeah.
The
It
history.
was
of
so.
it.
It was fantastic that they showed up. You know, who
It's
wants
nice.
to support me? Why? You know, but they're
Jerry
great.
needs more success.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Help
obnoxious.
him. Help
Yeah.
this guy. You know, not to talk about the movie, but
I'm ready
Unfrosted,
to talk about the
speaking of
movie.
tight, one thing that hit me pretty quickly was how fast it was moving. Like
Uh-huh.
not really like a normal movie.
Mm-hmm,
It was like not only it's got a story, so it's not just set up punchline, but it's really line lap line. I mean, once you see, you get it feels like a rhythm where it just goes, wow, you're not wasting any time.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting the scenes out, which takes a lot of work ahead of time to
Yeah.
just tighten. But I thought Gaffigan was funny. Everyone that came in, of course, I got the whole cast list here. But Melissa McCarthy's always funny.
Yeah,
Amy was in it. Bill Burr, of course. Is the surprise takes you a second
yeah.
to find out it's him. But everywhere you turn, there's some funny people.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie is light. It's maybe I wouldn't say Willy Wonka-ish, but something weird. You know,
Or
something like that. Very
Airplane,
light,
or
very fun, very
It's a mad
different.
world.
Yeah.
It's people caring so much about something and so
Right.
maddeningly caring about
Ridiculous.
the serial thing.
That was the track we tried to.
This, I
set
think,
on.
as a director, this is my first note.
Okay.
I thought was great. The kid in the first scene was
Yes.
so good.
So good.
So hard to get a kid that good. You're at
Isaac
the diner.
Bay.
Yeah.
Who I just love this kid. I saw him last night. I hadn't seen him since we shot that.
Yeah.
I just was hoping, is Isaac gonna come to the premiere? I've got to see him again. He was just a sweet kid. He was funny. He
And
didn't
he had some
realize how
adult
funny
line
he was.
like I've had better days or something. There was something really funny.
Leave
He
the
said-
box.
Yeah.
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 Tough. And the guy at the counter says, "Tough day." Says, "You don't want to know."
That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You don't want to know. And then a little while later, you have the little girl in the dumpster.
Mhm.
Like she was
She
a
was great.
star.
She was great.
Her
Amazing.
voice,
There
and
was
then
two
she
of 'em.
comes back. She's got a lot of
She's a
something.
killer.
Did
Yeah.
you
She's a
add
killer.
her because those two were getting laughs? Did you add a scene for them? Or
No.
It's all-
No, that
you know,
was
that's
what-
done sometimes. Someone's
No,
doing well.
We didn't. But when the scenes kill, obviously there were scenes I cut, but their scenes always
made
work
it,
well. Tell me her name again, the little girl.
Okay, I got it right in front of me.
Yeah.
Her name is Daily
Bailey was
Sheets.
the boy.
Boy in the
Her name is John Slattery,
She's
I
kind
think.
of a cherubic
Her
face.
name is John Ham.
I like when Amy calls her Cabbage Patch.
Amy Schumer is so great in
she's
this
so
movie.
funny.
She's funny. Well, you had Gaffigan was so fucking funny in this movie.
Yeah.
Like it was a perfect part
what
for
about-
him. Like he looked like central casting from a '60s sitcom or something. I mean, it was his.
Born to play that role, right? The
yeah.
president, the son of the president of Kellogg's.
Yes.
Who inherited the company.
Yep.
And he plays it so
Buffoon.
earnestly. I don't- Like he's
Kyle Dunnigan doing Cronkite is that was a great runner.
And he did Carson,
Yeah.
too.
I saw that with the face.
Yeah,
thing.
with the face replacement.
We had him we interviewed him right here.
Oh, yeah.
Kyle.
How great is he?
He's
He's
so
as good as they come.
As good as they come.
Good as they come.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
underused, undersold. I'm glad you used
Very
him in that.
humble, kind of unassuming, but
Yeah,
man, is he
yeah.
Nails it. Christian Slater was great to see,
he
too.
came up with the whole Cronkite, I'll stop drinking when you stop talking.
Oh, yeah?
That was an ad lib in a take. I said, that's this character. That's who he is.
Okay.
Nobody knew that Walter Cronkite had an old bitch wife and a drinking problem.
It is it's our generation's, it's such a touchstone.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
cereal was huge in our family.
Oh, sure.
Huge.
Silly Putty, X-ray specs.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
Tom
all get
Hanks
a
said,
shout out.
Slinky or Silly Putty, if you got one, which one? We'll tell you what Tom
Ooh,
Hanks
that's-
said.
Wow, that's a tough call. I'd probably go with Silly Putty because of the egg. I love the
Egg was
the
a
dual,
hit.
Yeah.
the two-color egg. Just made
It
me.
makes
I
you
think
think
if you
of-
slam it too hard, then you never see it again. It's
Yeah.
the only problem. It's a really,
Well, all that
or no,
stuff.
that's Super Bowl.
The
Super
thought that
Bowl.
goes-
Super Bowl is the one.
Super Bow's
Silly
a
Putty
hit,
is like
too.
you go for the newspapers and yeah.
I went nuts when they came out with the Super Bowl Mini. Do you remember the Super Bowl Mini?
Oh, the little
The
tiny
little one.
Yeah.
Gets
when
lost
they did
faster.
that, I
Yeah,
went,
little
wow, they made
tiny.
it smaller.
And yeah. And you would slam it on the sidewalk and it would fly.
I want a bigger one so I can fucking find it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just go and that's it. You get one out of it, and then it's like down the street.
So so you wonder, are kids having as much fun today as we had?
No.
I don't think so.
The Stingray was in there too. You
The
had
Stingray,
everything.
yeah, everything I loved.
Everything.
It was a little indulgent. I have to.
Why
cop
would it be
to-
indulgent?
I just love stingrays. There's no reason for that to be in there.
Oh, Steve Schwinn and the Stingray?
Yeah. Well, we had to kill somebody because I wanted to do the full serial honors burial.
Hmm.
That was the bit I wanted
With
to
the
do.
milk and all, yeah.
I think the rhythm
floating
that
up.
you hit
Yeah.
with the movie was like, if this joke wasn't your thing, just wait a second.
Right.
Here's another one.
Well, we're comics.
The rhythm of
we're
it.
not film. I'm not a filmmaker. I'm a comic.
I mean, Jerry said he
I
was
asked.
a filmmaker. I think
I
you
asked
did
my.
make a film.
I have a 13-year-old nephew, and I said, "What is the equivalent of like a slinky for you to kill
Right.
time?" And he
Oh,
said,
great question.
"Porn, online porn."
Oh, God.
So-
Is that a joke?
No,
That's sad.
And Slinkies would get all caught up. I mean,
Only
they-
because you're never going to enjoy sex. You're never going to enjoy it.
no.
And that's a shame, isn't it?
I had a slinky, and I
Because
don't
of
like
They
it.
the
ruined
scene-
it. They ruined it.
I know. We had a Playboy magazine at the dump, and
You had
we
to
just
work
saw
for
a
it.
little
God.
bit. But
Spiegel
this hardcore
catalog.
porn
they
for a
ruined
first grader,
everything.
I don't agree with it. Just count me as don't like porn for kids.
Yeah.
Taking a stand.
Who said this?
Um,
I quit porn.
Chris.
Yeah. It's so funny.
You could just do the pace without the
tells me every
words
day.
in it.
Also, the fingers on his shoulder. Spade. Spade. Listen to me.
He had one of the greatest lines I've ever heard about how to be a professional comedian.
Okay.
We were talking the other day. We did Kevin Hart's Mark Twain
Mhm.
Prize.
Mhm.
He was talking to some young comic. I'm not going to mention that name either. And he was telling him. He said to the kid, "What do you do during the day?" He says, "I hang out. Don't do anything during the day." And he says to the kid, "During the day is when you make the money." I go, "Yeah, we collect it at night, but we make it during the day." So that line, he and I really love that line. That should be the code for Sam. But I think all the young kids today, they do. They're either doing these, they're selling, or they're writing.
Yep.
But you make money during the day, you collect it at night.
So you go out in the world, and that's how you get big.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look at things
Do
differently.
you have any
Write it
bit
down.
that you haven't? That's just in your brain right now, and you haven't done it in your act? Just a thing you're working on.
Yeah, tons.
Anyone to
What, you
sell?
want one?
Well, I had a notion. I don't have any. Maybe
Give me
we
your.
can try to finish
we'll
it
fix
here.
it right now.
And you probably have thought of this.
The question announcements. I've got a little bit of a grip on it that I did earlier to you.
Yes.
No more. Stop announcing. I have a question.
Right.
One question.
Well, that's in your
My
act
question.
now?
Yeah, I'm working it. I'm working it.
You fell into the trap.
Yeah, that was a bit.
So that was. I kind of knew that, and I was sort of. It's an assist.
Yeah, that was an assist.
I made that
Yeah.
up.
So
No.
that's one. That's I'm working
My
on
thing is
that.
this: because the phone is always going in and out of the car, talking to someone. I'm taking you into the car now. I'm going for a ride. Can I just have a conversation? I'm putting you in my ear. Oh, okay.
That's funny.
My wife said the other day, I just dropped you in the trash. So
Oh, that's really funny.
that's a concept
I love it.
that's so much more you that you can run with it.
You're giving it to me?
I am.
I don't want it. That's too sweet. That's too nice.
It's something,
you've
you could make.
I have enough.
Yeah, you've already done so much for me just having me on the show.
You're our biggest guest in quite a long time.
That's cool.
You're
So give me. I don't want to waste the
These are
notes
notes
that you
that I
did.
had
Yeah.
about the movie
Okay.
that I liked.
I missed the first
I love
hour,
Bill
but I loved
Burr's
it.
Kennedy.
We love Bill Burr's
He
Kennedy.
sounded like Kennedy, even his regular voice, pretty much.
Yeah. Well,
I,
Bill Burr is the only guy out of Boston that I've liked since Kennedy.
Long time.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah.
Those are the only two guys out of Boston that I like.
The
Yeah.
Peppermint Twins are here.
Yeah.
Yes, are they wearing the traditional garb? I think this meeting's over.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, I mean, him as Kennedy was so
Did you have to cut any friends out of the movie and tell them?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, brush over that one. Okay.
What is your
What about-
favorite scene in the movie, if you have one, or one?
The Pop-Tart launching in the toaster, which I stole from Ron Howard's Apollo 13.
Yeah.
I took the same track.
Right.
Spirit in
Great.
the Sky, Norman Greenbaum.
Very
Those
cool.
Pop-Tart launches. I just like the energy of that. That was like, I felt like I was filmmaking there.
It felt like a big budget.
Inside
Yeah.
a toaster, that whole thing
Inside
like a
the
rocket.
toaster.
Yeah.
And the funeral scene,
That's funny,
which
yep.
was a scene that a lot of people did not want to do. They said it won't work. It's not on story. And I said, yeah, but this is why you make comedy movies.
Sure.
To do something really silly that you think will play.
Right.
Mel Brooks, the Cowboys come into the Busby
Yeah.
Berkeley. What else? That whole movie to me is to just get to that. And
Cowboys
Harvey
come.
Korman saying Raisinets at the candy counter. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Count
that-
Vodkula. Is that one of the lines?
Count Vodkula.
It's hysterical. But it's just peppered with so many jokes that it's hard to remember all of them. But I just remember going, oh, it's still going, it's still going, it's still funny, it's still funny, it's over.
All right, before I
Yeah,
forget,
thank
John
you.
Hamm's moment with Melissa McCarthy when they're floating,
Yes.
flirting.
Yeah.
It's just worked really. I thought John Hamm stood out too. With all these cameos you had, how he
Yeah.
was so serious
Yeah.
Yeah.
about advertising.
Yeah, why are they
so?
so mean? It's just
Yeah.
advertising.
He gets in your face.
He was so cool about doing that and doing that with John Slattery.
Yeah, they were really amazing to do that. That was a
Yeah.
dream that you thought, could we get them?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
think
yeah.
they would do it?
Yeah. So that.
The other thing I wanted to do that I couldn't, I almost did, was Chris Rock was going to be the MC of the Bowl and Spoon Awards,
Right.
and we shot that right after the Will Smith slap, and I was going to have somebody come up on the stage and have Chris punch him out as they got there, and then Chris wasn't he wasn't up for to perform. He was still a little shook from that event,
Yeah.
but that was what that scene was going to be. But Cedric saved the day. I love
Cedric,
Cedric.
Yeah. He was
Yeah.
instantly hilarious in that moment.
Do you think that would have been funny if Chris, as the MC of the Bowl and Spoons, somebody comes up on stage and he lays them out?
Without the Will Smith thing, I think it's funny. It just sort of still kind of a residual darkness around that moment.
Yeah. Isn't that what we're attracted to?
I don't
more
know.
than anything?
I'm just
Residual
saying,
darkness.
just saying, we were in the writers' room. I'd be sitting with you and Spike going, it could be. Let's think about that. You know?
Yeah.
But if Chris is there and wants to do it, you get it.
I don't know if it would have worked.
You
but
can always trim it.
It was an idea.
Always get the shot.
Yeah.
So what was your first cut? How long was it? Because the movie's like 85 minutes before
84
credits.
minutes, and there's not a chance in hell I was going to go over that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long the first cut was, but I definitely pulled out at least 15.
Wait, you had a number in your head first?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Woody, I
Woody Allen?
do the Woody. Woody would go 81, 82, and everyone's happy. No one's not happy with Annie Hall. Is too short. We do comedy. We get in, we get out.
Yeah. I think you said about stand-up,
Totally
but maybe
agree.
I asked you just off the record at a party or something. Like, at a certain point, it gets to be people like even Rock his special was an hour and a half. I go, why don't you save a half for the next one? Just do a tight hour. And he goes, nah. I think they expect it from him maybe, but I was like, I'm from the school of after an hour, it starts to
What they expect is not our business. It is our business. Don't give them what they want. You think they know what they want? If they knew what they want, they wouldn't have to pay to get it.
Let's get that on a T-shirt.
Yeah, I feel like, when I'm watching someone and it goes over a certain amount, I start to lose. And that's when I start to go, God, I love comedy. And I'm starting to go, fuck, how long is this going?
You can ruin it so fast.
Yeah.
And I learned that watching Jerry Lewis and Sammy Davis at the Sands.
In Vegas?
In Vegas. Yeah. And Jerry came out. He did 45. Sammy came out. They did another hour together. And then Sammy started singing, and it was like, this is now not a good experience.
I always felt the Jerry Lewis telethon was too long.
Sammy can go on a long time. I was sitting with Kevin Pollak's about to go on the Tonight Show. He's out of his mind. I was just there visiting. He's so excited. And Sammy's singing. So Sammy gets a thing, 'cause the name of love, and then he breaks it down. Break it down.
No, don't break it down.
Love that came down, and I just see Kevin just deflating in the green room.
Oh,
There's a knock. Maybe next time.
dear.
I want to hear more stuff you like that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
The stuff that I didn't like.
Made me laugh.
Yeah.
Your first name is Trat Pop.
Trap Up. Did you see it coming that we were going to?
No.
It was a mirror image.
Yeah.
The silly putty.
But I like, because I knew it's going to change.
I didn't know how you were going to figure that out.
We didn't either.
And that was a great way to
we
figure it
didn't
out.
either.
Does it make sense exactly?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's the exact reverse words. Letters, rather.
So I said, if he's fucking cheating this.
No, I didn't. There was a big discussion of should we show it on the silly putty spelled backwards or make it say Pop-Tart. Back and forth, and that we like to do what it would really look like with the letters would be backwards.
Funny when it's a bad name and everyone's like, yes.
Like we've
like,
got
whoa, it sounds horrible. It means nothing.
Snap, Crackle, Pop. Bobby Moynihan. Those three characters.
Yeah,
Mikey
that
Day.
wasn't Bobby Moynihan.
Mikey
that
Day.
was
No, Bobby. He was Chef Boyardee.
I saw the movie
Chef
Mikey Day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
what
did
movie.
a great movie recently. Do you still want to do another? Do you?
What are you talking about? Wrong Missy?
Yeah, Wrong Missy was great.
Wrong Missy. Thank you, bud. Yeah, I when I wrote one with Theo Vaughn. You know Theo, a comic.
Oh,
so we're trying to do that. Hopefully, end of summer this year.
Oh, great, fantastic.
So we wrote it together. So
right.
Even if you like one of us, just come to that one.
Great.
Yeah. It's about
who are you working with?
It's about cereal. It's a little bit of a bump.
Netflix?
No, I wrote that. We don't know yet.
Oh, okay. Cool.
We don't know who the lucky winner is yet.
Right.
Embarrassing.
You got James Marsden in there too.
Yeah, James Marsden.
James Marsden.
Did you see Jury Duty that he did?
No.
Oh, it's amazing.
I heard about it.
Yeah, mock documentary.
Yeah.
And the
I tell
bloopers,
people
I always like outtakes at the end.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
They're
You
singing,
sang.
dancing, laughing, breaking character.
Yeah.
It's just fun. So
yeah.
the movie's just fun.
Yeah,
and I do think that this will get a little zeitgeisty. You'll have a strong opinion about this. This is so trite right now. With the way the world's going,
stop.
we need.
Please
I know
stop.
you're. I'm going to.
No, we don't.
Begging you.
We need.
On my knees.
I knew ahead of
begging.
time. In these troubled times, Mr. Seinfeld.
I will pay money for you to stop talking.
Do you have to get the cast to stay to
Gotta get a
shoot
check?
the song
Yes.
at the end of the day when they're tired?
Yes.
How was that?
Not fun.
I knew it. Anything extra on a day is like.
I gave Spike gets all the credit for that. I could not ask them. He would. He thought it would work. I never thought it would work. It does work because the song is cute and it just gets you off. You
and the cow farting thing when you're running through the cow fart thing.
Yeah.
What did you think? What were you thinking during that?
That actually happened to Spike in real life as a kid.
Oh, seriously?
They forced him to exit a dairy barn between two a line of
Right.
cows, and I just found that so funny.
Mhm.
He was so traumatized by it as a kid,
Mhm.
so we put it in the movie.
And then your character is
At
traumatized.
Yeah.
If nothing else, to make him feel
I
bad.
can't get clean. You're kind of
Yeah.
having a nervous breakdown.
I
or
can't
something.
wash it out of my mind.
That was it.
Yeah.
What about you're clean now? What about my mind? I can't unsee it.
Right.
Something like that.
Do you still have this Mount Rushmore? Is just something someone lied about? Richard Pryor, Carlin, Cosby, Rickles. Is that close?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Even-
But I do think I started the Mount Rushmore trend.
Oh, by saying the Mount Rushmore of
Yes,
something?
Of something. I think. And my my advisor, Tom Keeney, agrees that's I did it with Rickles to introduce Rickles. What's your comedy stand-up
Yeah,
Mount
Dana.
Rushmore? You don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but
No. But if you go back to there's two ways for me to think of it. Like now, looking back, but like in the '70s, they were all magic. I saw Pryor on Ed Sullivan doing
Wow.
regular stand-up,
Sure, of course.
and they were all magic to me. Jonathan Winters,
Absolutely
I
deserves
think,
that.
and Carlin, Carlin, you have to put in there, and I think that
Prior
once-
Carlin Winters, you got one more slot.
Yeah, Robin.
well, then mid '70s, like Steve Martin, peak Steve
Ooh.
Martin,
Yeah,
deconstructing
that's pretty great group.
and Robin Williams, who
Sorry,
You
we're out
know.
of time.
yeah, we are out of time.
Who
boy.
I thought
It's
later.
It's only so
I
we have
thought
so much
later
stone.
about Robin and what 'cause he
Robin.
was very. He's like, oh, I think I might have taken material from you. You know, he was
Sure.
very, very
Yeah.
shy about stuff. I said, I try to take your whole act. I mean, the thing that he presented was a Shakespearean actor
Right.
is pushed out on the stage with no
Right.
material.
Right.
And that was the brilliant conceit.
Yes.
And he's just
yes.
wandering around, and I don't know what I'm doing. And he picks up his
that's
braid.
funny.
For those of you on acid, this is a frisbee. And he goes, and so that was his genius. So I
Yes,
think
yes.
those Steve Martin and Robin at that
Mhm,
time for
mhm.
me, the rhythm of Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
The freedom of Steve, his freedom
Yeah.
on stage is still stunning to watch.
We'll talk about a performer expressing joy. The
Yeah.
character, the happy idiot,
So likable, yeah.
was
Yeah. But a very calculated
Yeah.
joy,
meticulous.
meticulously
Yes.
calculated to be funny / dumb. It's got to be
Yeah.
funny, dumb.
It's very hard to
happy.
do.
Yes.
It's a recipe.
The acting of it, because we were talking with him, and he goes, we talked about the excuse me, and he goes, oh, it's just a catchphrase.
Mhm.
But I go, no, I saw you do it at the boarding house. You say,
Wow.
can I get a blue spot?
Yeah.
Right.
Can I get a blue spot? And you work your way to that.
Right.
Excuse me.
right.
Just ask for a blue spot. Can it?
As a kid,
Just
oh,
the
you
blue
know,
spot.
what he also says?
And
He
that's
goes,
the brilliant thing. Then
Yeah,
excuse
you think it's
me.
an actual screw up. When I was listening to an album and I'm sitting there riveted, and he goes, can I get a blue spot for this? And then he waits and he goes, blue spot, and then he goes, red or blue. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he
And then he
builds it.
keeps inching up, and then he stops playing, and he goes, you know, it's funny. I come here. I get up. I write jokes.
Okay.
He does a whole fucking setup.
Yeah.
And you think so? I'm like, someone actually fucked up,
And-
you know? And it made the album. That's what I thought.
I have
If you asked me to name your Mount Rushmore, I think I could spend an hour and I wouldn't get it. I could not guess your comedy stand-up taste.
Yeah.
But the audience and I are dying to hear it. We
And I-
want to hear your.
If you can go.
your
I
Mount-
have one more I'm going to talk
I
about.
don't
but
think-
You
let's hear
can't
yours
add any more. It's
No,
more people.
But
That's
Jerry,
the game.
But Jerry, it's the best guy.
It's-
For me,
yeah,
on talk shows, the best guy ever. Rickles.
Rickles.
Okay, I had to say it.
Yeah,
The
Rickles and Rodney. Interestingly, no one ever talked about this,
No,
and
Rodney-
probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
The two most exciting guys on the Tonight Show. Tough to do an hour for both of them.
Mhm.
Oh, they
Tough
better in
style
snippets.
for
Yeah.
an hour.
Yeah,
Right.
For an
yeah.
hour,
That's
you
why
know.
he had the band, Rickles. and
Yeah,
stuff. But
yeah.
the genius of him, no joke. It was so dry. As a kid, it just made me laugh. He'd be out there with Johnny and Ed. Ed doesn't know the show started.
Yeah.
Ed's in the corner. Give him a cookie. Pack him an ice. He's
Yeah,
getting out of
yeah.
here. There's no real joke. It's just all
Oh yes,
rhythm and
those are
attitude.
jokes. Those are jokes.
Well,
They're just it's stylistic.
give him a cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They
Yeah. Pack him
sound-
an ice.
Yeah,
They
Where'd you
sound
go to
like
college?
jokes.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before you can answer.
So,
So you know why? And I just want to answer because those guys were 100-meter sprinters. They were sprinters.
right.
And then other comedians are long distance,
Yeah,
middle
yeah,
distance
yeah.
guys.
Bob Newhart.
Bob Newhart, long
Yeah,
distance runner.
yeah.
So
It's hard.
Dave,
I couldn't even do it.
Come on.
because
You gotta
we-
give
we
it a
ran out of
shot.
time.
You can start with Jerry.
No,
if you want.
no.
okay.
That's,
I don't
that's
know.
just-
I know. I'd probably, because it changes over the years. That's why I was asking you yours, because you've seen so many since Rickles. That has anyone even put up a fight?
That's a different question. But
Okay.
the question
Mine
is to
would
you
be-
first.
God dang, I never even thought of it. I
How
know.
about
I know
just think
Steve
of
Martin.
specials is one way to do it.
I know Steve Martin for sure because I listen to his
Right,
albums
okay.
so
Right.
much. And Fryer, we had his 8 tracks. If I have to have a black guy in there,
You do.
Yeah, there
You
you go.
do.
You got to have one.
You do.
it's out of 4.
If you want to keep doing the show.
Yeah.
That's Long Beach. That's his special in Long Beach.
Long Beach.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
right
Is that
up
what it was, or Sunset?
Well, he walks out. Well, Long Beach is where he walks out. The crowd is still coming in.
They're
He's
still coming in.
He's opening up for
Didn't
Gladys
he open
Knight
for
or
someone?
something?
He's doing
No,
it.
it's Patti LaBelle.
Yeah,
opened it.
he's filming
Yeah.
a special that they said
And
he
they're
was
just
opening for
walking in.
someone. Is that possible?
No. Patti LaBelle opened
that
the show.
sounded
Yeah.
crazier.
Yeah.
Okay,
But that, yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Good
so he walks out. Is what you're saying? He
Yeah.
walks out when they don't even introduce me.
Yeah,
It's
there's
kind
no
of-
introduction, and the crowd's still coming in and talking.
I love
See,
it.
you gotta
so
shut
awesome.
the fuck up, or
Yeah.
I can't assist with my gag. Sorry. It's
Yeah.
My
I
best
think that
Richard
was
Pryor.
Cosby.
This
Yeah.
because would you like a little pill?
Come on, David.
I mean, if because I'm gonna go back early like you did because that's what's shaping.
Right.
I would maybe put Carlin because I did go see him even at the Celebrity Theater in Arizona when I
Wow.
was 14.
All right.
And it
What about Sam?
Sam Kinison?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him.
What
at-
about Bernie Mac? Bernie Mac.
I didn't
and
see much
Sam.
of Bernie
Yeah.
Mac.
When I want to laugh, and I'm just, that's who I YouTube those
Kennison
guys.
in
You
his
know-
prime. Get out of the desert.
Come on.
Yeah,
Go to where the
Kinison-
food is. Go where there's.
Yeah, go where the food. And I saw him at Finney Bones. You might remember Finney
Sure,
Bones in
yeah.
Arizona.
Mhm.
And I would be an MC, same thing. Drove him to his condo, had me go get him beer and do
Wow.
all that. And then he
Wow.
had a pile of Coke and he said, you want some? And I go, no. And he goes, okay, you can stay. And he was with Robert Townsend. And Robert Townsend said he didn't want any part of that. So he goes, can you run me to my room? So I drove him to his hotel
Wow.
and thirstily came back to hang out with Kinison because I loved him so much.
Yeah.
And I did want to do Coke, and I didn't want to do his because I
Yeah.
didn't want to look like a mooch.
One of my favorite Kinnison lines is from a movie, the Rodney movie. What is it called?
Back to school.
Back to School.
Mhm.
When he asks about why we went to Vietnam, and he goes, "Is she right?" Before he goes into the rant,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Is she right? Holding the rage.
Mhm.
You know, okay. I thought Kinnison when you said that,
gotta
and
see
I go,
Jerry's
I don't know.
face,
There's too
folks.
many people to think of, but Kinnison,
Yeah.
I had to say
It's
was
not really fair.
It really shocked me, Kinnison, and I was like, fuck. When you see people that really put you on your heels, like,
Yeah.
and you go, fuck, that's new. That's a new angle. That's new.
Yeah, yeah.
But there are comics, and I'll say that I think we're all pretty good at. You can see. You don't need an hour. You can see one joke, and you say, it might be a fluke.
Yep.
If it's good, and if you see another good one, you go,
Yep.
okay, he's good.
That's right.
Like,
You
that's
guys
all really
remember
takes.
all it
the
takes.
Westwood Comedy Store?
Of course.
I
That
went
was the
there
only
like
place
I was
could
there
work.
like a Tuesday night at midnight, maybe 8-10 people.
Yeah.
First guy comes up dressed like Elvis, and he's kind of going around like that, and he goes with the cigarette,
Yeah.
Dice,
Dice.
I'm gonna get you, and he was so electric.
So fucking.
Then
it was funny
Kinnison
as
came
shit.
up,
Oh, in the same show.
and he goes, there is no God, and he took his beret off, and he was bald. There's no God, and he got a guy so frenzied, the guy got up and took his pants down.
What?
Yeah. He goes, yeah. It was just like, I'd never seen anything like it. So I tried to get
Like a
Kinnison
sermon.
work. I couldn't get him work because I went back to
Wow.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
And they go, what has he done? Who is he? Well, you'll find out.
I also love Pablo Francisco. Do you know him?
All about him.
I
Absolutely.
love that guy.
He's,
Now that's the kind of guy I don't see anymore. Same energy.
Yeah.
Remember those? There was guys that crazy. They're crazy.
Mhm.
Altman.
Yeah, Jeff
I
Altman.
miss those guys.
Loved him on
I
Letterman.
feel like we don't see a lot of that
kind of that energy and
Yeah,
just pure.
Yeah.
madness.
Mhm.
Madness, barely under control.
You don't know what's
Madness.
coming. Yeah, yeah,
Pablo,
yeah.
did he later on
I
do
don't
a
know
thing where he
Pablo.
played a video game character with music and lights and he's walking around like a
Who?
Pablo?
Oh yeah, no. Probably does a lot of techno club.
Techno.
Oh, he does?
I watch him all the time, all the time, just because I want to laugh. Altman, Bernie Mac,
Old guys.
I love watching Sam's first Letterman, and then I'll watch the second one because I like the first one. He was nervous, and the second one he knew this shtick works. This character works. He had the long coat.
Oh yeah,
and I love the way he took the mic. Nobody took the mic on a stand on Letterman in those days.
They hand it to you.
Yeah, or you use the boom, which was so weak.
I was on the Tonight Show with Carson, and Sam was out there doing his thing, and then he starts to do something you're not supposed to do, I guess, or it's kind of X-rated, and I'm Johnny's next to me. He's going, "Oh, Sam, no, Sam," to himself. No, oh, Sam, no, don't, Sam. Don't you think he's fucking up, Dana? No, sorry. But anyway,
really?
No, I didn't say that to him.
Okay,
but I was there. Carson said, "No, Sam, oh, Sam," and he's out there just.
How great was Carson? He really did love comics.
Yeah,
you know, for all his other political structures that he put comics through, you know, they created the hierarchical structure to, I don't know why.
Jim McCauley, is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm sure maybe it was Fred DeCordova. You come on, you don't sit down until you're approved. You don't just come out and not do stand-up until you're approved. It was a hierarchy that they built, even though we were the best part of the show.
Yeah, people wait for that stand-up.
I remember your first set? Do you? Well, I don't remember this. Did you get called over?
No, but he called me back out. I walked behind the curtain, and he made me come back out and take a bow.
You killed that hard?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
It was,
but he liked it.
I was not happy with it. I thought it was good, but everybody was killing. And I didn't know in those days that if I don't have a mic in my hand, I can't do it. My thing doesn't work.
Oh, did you use the boom?
I used the boom, and I can't do it.
It's so different.
Yeah, I can't make my stuff work with a boom.
Well, you don't have any dynamic without a mic, because then you can go a little bit
closer.
Right,
you have no vocal dynamic. And you can't move physically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're so used to it. Every set you're doing is practicing like this.
Right.
And you walk out in the one that matters, and you're like, what am I doing?
Right.
What do I do with my hands?
So what are you excited about doing, David, in the near term?
Okay, that's a good one. I think movies are hard, but I like them if I like to do them.
Right.
So
what do you like about it?
I think I like when they come out.
when they're done.
When they're
you
done.
like when they come out?
You like
the
party.
process.
How is that?
The kind
You're
of
not even doing anything.
No,
You're sitting there.
sometimes they're fun to do, and then it's fun. But if you're just doing it for the money, which I've done in the past, if you're doing it, you don't love it.
Amazing
that's
that
brutal.
You would admit that.
Yeah. But you can tell which ones. And but when you get one that's like the Wrong Missy that does well, that becomes worldwide, and then, and then Ted Call, all those people, and then you feel like, oh, one worked. And I really like when a comedy works and you go, oh, it actually worked the whole way. Because the interesting thing was reading it and it's funny, and it gets funnier, and doing scenes. About halfway through, I go, wait, we still have these scenes to do that are supposed to be pretty funny. If it works, this actually might be good. And you never know. Something interesting about movies is no one has it solved. No one has it correct. Or they just make good movies.
Do not.
You cannot fucking...
If you go 100 movies, AFI, and you're looking to watch a movie... God, or even like best science fiction. There's like 10 good science fiction movies.
Let's just, I mean, obviously, comedy's our category. Greatest comedies ever made.
Oh.
Or movies that we think are what we would call great comedic movies. That is a short list.
Right. What I was going to say in terms of the stand-up.
You say yours and I'll agree.
Our first exposure, Jerry, to funniness was probably Abbott and Costello Meets Frankenstein.
Yep.
And,
well, the TV
and
series.
Jerry Lewis movies.
Meets Frankenstein.
Loved all
Lewis
the Jerry
and
Lewis
Martin
movies.
Yeah. I remember those being big. So the fun of movies are like you're making this movie, and then you think of
you're like those guys.
Well, you're just you're trying to do something like they did. It's almost impossible, and they didn't make every movie that was great.
No.
Abbott and Costello goes to Mars. It's terrible.
The trick is you have to meet Frankenstein.
Those guys aren't. Their movies are not great. If you wanted to show an alien how funny Laurel and Hardy was, you're not going to show them the features. You're going to show them the shorts.
Well, I won't say this question. How do you feel? Because someone was on the podcast recently, and it was Michael Keaton, and said as a kid he didn't really get the Three Stooges, and then now he loves them.
Not a fan.
That was
not a fan.
Michael
but
Keaton.
I watched anyway because of Curly. Curly was so gifted, such a genius.
Yes,
the
original
the other two, especially Mo, you're not funny.
Well, they were in their early 60s when they started. It's like
Mo would try to get them back on track, though.
Okay.
When things are going
So he's
wrong,
like
which is a lot of the time.
Studio exec.
What's
You
a
know,
great
you go, we
comedy
gotta-
film to you?
Yeah, go.
You have 5 seconds.
I am not in any way comparing what I did in any way, shape, or form. But I watched Blazing Saddles the other day, and I felt like, oh, I'm in this universe. I'm in this universe. The reality tone of this one is in that universe. Mel Brooks having a GOV on the back of the jacket.
Yeah.
You know, the big band in the desert. You know, things that we know are not really happening.
Yeah.
But we like.
Punches the horse. That was incredible.
Yes.
Knocks out the
So,
horse. Yeah.
Wow. I would probably have to go Marx Brothers. I think the Marx Brothers, their pacing today is still quick.
Yes.
You know, and the way
because they worked it out.
Yeah.
On
the tightness,
on the road.
the pacing, the complexity of the bits, the physical bits with dialogue.
Yeah.
So I would pick one of theirs. There's a few, of course, that are great.
What about something like Airplane that's sort of crazy?
Airplane, absolutely. You know, Manhattan, Woody.
You know, I don't think it is funny. I don't know. It's not. Is Midnight in Paris is I think a great Woody Allen movie and funny.
Great, absolutely great.
You know.
Yeah.
Can you do you fight?
Yeah.
You know the guy who played Hemingway. Yeah. No, and you know, Owen Wilson was the perfect surrogate voice for Woody.
Yeah.
Incidentally. Because Woody's like, Jim shouldn't. No, you're a terrific woman. No, and then Owen's like,
terrific.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Well,
guy.
I was just wondering if you maybe want to go to a museum today.
Was he in the Seinfeld? Not no, that Seinfeld sketch, not the Woody Allen. I think that was.
What sketch?
We did a Woody Allen sketch.
Oh, really?
We did one.
It was with Jason.
The one I saw today you played the game show host with me and Schneider and Sandler.
Stand Up and Win.
Yeah. Stand Up and Win. Yeah.
That's a huge one.
That was funny. And
that was
the way you played the host was very, very funny.
How about when you're the teacher?
Okay, the energy's waning, guys.
I know. Where is it? When you play the teacher and we're all in the audience.
Yeah, yeah.
And you go, what's the capital of Germany? And Farley goes like this, and you go, it's not Germany. He goes, he puts his hand down. I think it was me, Sandler. I liked seeing that. It showed up, and I was like, oh, it's so fun to see old ones. It's like a group of everybody.
Right.
And it's funny, and you were there, and it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's it. I got to go, Jerry.
Okay.
I got to wrap this up. I got a million things going on.
So,
Yes.
Jerry Seinfeld, what's next?
What is that? Oh.
Well, what's next?
You've just done
Any
this movie. Are
modeling
you gonna,
for Kith? Remember when you modeled? That
I
was
did,
good.
yeah.
A lot of people like that.
How do you
That's
do with
their thing.
reviews? Because
I love bad reviews. I love them.
you love bad
Let's read a few.
reviews.
Yes. Why wouldn't you hate it? It's of course. I didn't make it for you particularly.
I made a movie that bombed in 1988. It's called Opportunity Knocks, and I
remember Opportunity
I'm
Knocks.
casually talking to. You do?
I didn't hear it when it was the best movie
Bill
list.
Murray.
Yeah.
It's a Wednesday. The movie's coming out Friday.
Yeah.
Bill Murray very seriously says to me, "Can you get out of the country? I mean, could you go to the woods?" I mean, he's assuming the reviews will literally destroy me.
Really?
Any way you could hike somewhere and just be away from all electronics? But yeah, I got some bad ones.
Yeah, but as comedians, it's not fair because we have Iron Man suits that we wear in show business, which this was the biggest thing that I experienced doing this movie is seeing the lives of these actors and how different it is from our lives. They are
a lot of waiting.
They to have a house like this, like you have, they're sweating out each gig. This I have to kill in this. This has to work, or things.
Or that's
could,
it. Yeah.
you know, or there could be a downturn. You and I, we don't think like that. Yes, we want our stuff to work, but you got this metal Iron Man suit that nobody can get off of you. You can go out and work.
Yeah.
You can go out
That's
and work
why
whenever you want.
It was revolutionary to John Lovitz when I convinced him to try it.
Yeah, how's he doing
Stand-up.
with it?
He loves it.
Good. Yeah. That's
He
great.
goes because the movies are they edit, they cut my part, all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Then he goes, I go to the club. They go, here's your dressing room. There's the
Right.
stage.
Yeah.
I do my time and they give me a check. He could not believe the arithmetic thing that stand-up is.
It's kind of the most interesting thing about our careers is we lived through what it was at the beginning to what it is now. It changed underneath us.
Yes.
And I give Ted Sarandos a tremendous amount of credit for this. He changed who comedians are in the culture. He changed it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I went on Bert Kreisner's podcast. He goes, I'm playing Berlin tomorrow night.
Wow.
These Netflix specials are global.
Yeah.
Hundreds of millions of people.
Yeah. God bless America.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What? My final thing. What are you going to do the rest of the day? You're going to go meditate to get energy.
I'll go meditate, and I got to come up with a bit
you got
for
to do
Weekend
the show
Update. I'm
tonight.
doing Weekend Update.
This
Saturday.
weekend?
I need a bit. I don't have a bit.
You don't have a bit.
I don't have a
You're
bit.
booked. You just said,
I'm
"Can
booked.
I do?"
I won't do it if we don't. I'm going to call Colin Jost, and we're going to try and come up with a bit.
Right.
Okay.
What could you
They've
do?
invited me. I mean, I have to do it because when your movie comes out and you're on SNL,
It's a good plug,
you're officially, the guy of the weekend. You want to be the guy of the weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
You absolutely should. I'm just starting to think of what you could do. But
Did you see the bit I did where the president of Pop Tarts calls me into the boardroom, Kelman P. Gasworth?
Yes. I mean, was that in the
actor
movie?
Jeff?
No, that was just a promotional bit. That we
no,
wrote.
I saw it.
Yeah. Did you like it?
It's not in the
With
movie?
the guy Jeff.
Where the guy says, "How do you
the
feel?"
actor. Yeah, I know.
How do you feel? People just take your stuff and do whatever they want. I go, "You mean like Friends?"
I didn't see that. Because he goes, "I'm going to take your stuff."
Friends.
Yeah.
Friends, the sitcom.
Yeah.
Took stuff from Seinfeld.
Well,
we got our trender. That's all we needed, Jerry. That's going to go all over the world.
I saw that promo, and you need that. That stuff's floating around on Instagram.
yeah.
So what do you do on there? Anything in the news lately? Anything,
there's
anything
things in the
non-protesty that's in the news lately?
news.
Yeah. All right, I'll hit you with some stuff later. I don't want to say it in front of
Okay.
Dan.
How does that stuff get written on the show?
I mean, the update stuff?
Yeah, update gags.
Tuesday.
So you
Well,
want to
you-
have somebody on just to do an update?
Yeah,
Update.
usually
That's the
it
writer's room.
starts like right after probably the read through on Wednesday. You you would go to
really?
the update guy at the time, Herb Sargent, when I was there.
Right.
I'm thinking of doing an update thing. It just gets in the ether.
But if they say we have Seinfeld this week, they might even say it earlier in the week. But if the writers are freed up after they wrote their sketches, they go, everybody, let's brainstorm.
Okay.
And we'll come in with 3 ideas.
Okay. So I should say to them, see what you can cook up.
If you could have,
Okay.
if you could have Hugh Grant, you're doing something, and then Hugh
Yeah.
Grant comes in. Probably
He's
can't
in
get him.
London now.
Yeah,
so-
but he also was
Thank God.
incredibly funny. In the
I
movie.
love Hugh Grant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just something about that
He's
accent.
what men used to be.
The hard
funny,
drinking and fun.
drinking.
Just yeah,
Collar open,
Yeah.
broad shoulders, everything I wanted to be.
broad
Good looking,
shoulders.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
he's got really nice shoulders.
He does.
Yeah.
Well, he looked good when he had the horns on and the
Yeah.
All right.
Comedians,
Fanny.
Nate Bargatze has good shoulders. Almost no comedians have good shoulders.
It's
Can you name one? I can't.
I
Like
was thinking
good?
about this the other night.
Sandler? I don't know. I'm just
Sandler had good shoulders when he was younger.
Younger, but now
yeah,
not so good.
anymore. No.
Okay, there's our second trend. Boom!
Rude.
You really notice shoulders. That's your update bit.
Okay.
Colin,
Yeah.
little shoulders. Jay, shoulders.
Yeah.
And you
Jay
show
had
picture-
him. I never had him.
Jay had 'em.
I never had him.
Yeah.
Comedian's
Jay was
shoulder. Then
scary.
you
Yeah,
show
I had
clips.
Jewish shoulders.
Yeah,
Here's-
Jewish shoulders.
Here's this
There's your
comic.
bit.
Shoulders, 7 out of 10. Here's this comic. And then you just go, I know you've probably already done this at home, but I'm going to go through it with you guys. And then we say, who's got weak shoulders?
Yeah.
And you'll never
It's
work
the
with them.
relationship between the shoulder and the hip. This is-
Because if you have shoulders,
then you have
what
a hip.
else do you need? When
That's
you're
true.
young,
Yeah.
if you have really
Yeah.
good shoulders,
Yeah.
everyone's going to like you.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Everyone's
Yeah.
You don't need
checking
to be
their
so
You're going to
shoulders.
get gigs. You're going to
yeah,
get
you're going to get everything.
you get free food.
Yeah.
Yeah. People love big shoulder guys. Little shoulders, not so much. Rickles, surprisingly, I saw him once with his shirt off. Jack shoulders. Jacked.
He has a
Yeah,
solo
well, he's the
flex in
best.
his dressing room. Deej.
Yeah.
A deej.
All right.
All right.
All right, so
I got to pee.
That's enough.
Good
All right.
night.
We did a good
Good
job,
night.
Jerry.
That
You
was
did a
great.
good job.
That
Thank
that
you,
was
buddy.
fun.
That was as good as we thought it would be.
It
right?
is. It's great.
It's great.
It's
I
exciting.
love it.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey. Please follow, subscribe, leave a like, a review, all this stuff. Smash that button, whatever it is, wherever you get your podcasts. Fly on the Wall is executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Jenna Weiss-Berman of Odyssey, Charlie Finan of Brillstein Entertainment, and Heather Santoro. The show's lead producer is Greg Holtzman. Hey guys, it's Spadoodle. You can always go to davidspade.com to look at my tour dates because I bless a lot of cities in America with my hilarious stand-up act. Or you could not go to it and get on my enemy list. Up to you. Jimbo Brewer. Jim Brewer is a buddy of mine. I don't see barely ever anymore. He was on. We overlapped a little bit. We talked about that. He is such a character. My two buddies in Arizona always hit me up with the Jim Brewer clips. He's got great stand-up. He's bananas. He has a really funny story about when he worked at Sears. I think he worked in paints or something, in the paint department. And he does this elaborate story of how he called in a bomb threat. I think that's what happened. It was so nuts. But everything he says, he knows how to tell a story. I'll give him that. The guy knows how to talk. We were cracking up. We asked about, of course, Goat Boy. It took so long for him to get that on, I think. And I don't know. If this is just a lot of laughs, we were all laughing. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's more informative, but we just cracked up. So stick around, kick back, pull over, put it in park. And as you know, Dana is still not here, but we did this one right before. Last year we banked it, and we are going to get a few out, and then hopefully Dana's back, and we just keep going. We don't miss a beat. So thank you for understanding, and he appreciates everything, and he will be speaking about it and everything when he comes back. Here's Jim Brewer. Don't do anything without me. Nothing. Look at Brewer. Oh, shoot. Hold on.
Like a rock star. Always just showing up when he's ready to go.
Uh-huh. Look at Brewer. Looks like De Niro.
I'm on the road, and I literally just checked into an Airbnb.
Where are you playing? This will come out in 3 months. So let's see if we can get you.
I don't know. Someplace in Cincinnati.
You look good, though.
You look good. Damn.
You do too.
Well, I took 3 hours on this Zoom.
We look good. Look where we're at in life, and we're not fat. we're not sagging. We're not like. So guys, it's great seeing you guys. These are good, you know.
Dana, I was with my two idiot friends in Arizona, and we were leaving some deli, and we saw these guys, and they were all like old and beat up, and we were like, "Holy shit, this is really." Us in 10 years. Then they go, "Hey, Spade, we went to school with you." And I go, "Oh, shut the fuck up. Really? Is this what so I was beating the system a little bit there because they go, "We totally gave up." Mm-hmm. And I go,
well, no, there's a lot of giving up. People.
Well, let's put it this way, though.
Started. Yeah.
My relatives, they're not photographed. They don't want pictures. They're not on Zooms. They don't see themselves. So they get in the mirror, they put the chin up, they have good lighting, and then they wonder what the fuck happened to me. You know, like if I put them on, let me get a little iPhone around you, let me get a side angle, but you can really think you look a lot younger. Why does everybody look so old? But I represent a little further up the ladder than you do. Yeah. So.
Yeah,
let's see you. You can Wikipedia.
Well, Jim's younger than me, so you're the kid here.
Jim is still on fire. That's one thing I wanted to mention, Jim. The physicality and the energy, because I saw some of your special from last year at the Comedy Store in La Jolla. Yeah, and I was impressed because a lot of times I'll jump around out there. I've seen other comedians do a physical move, and then they're doing kind of this, but you went ballistic. At the beginning of that special, you came out super mellow, put like your phone down, and then you did like 5 minutes of fucking Jim Carrey 10x energy and balls out funny. And then I'm waiting I'm going, this guy's going to have to take a seat like Frasier. But so do you work out? Is that just because you do it a lot? Because you sustained it and you didn't get out of breath. So how you're like Mick Jagger or what?
Listen, so I think it was maybe 2 years ago before I did that, where I was on stage and I I thought someone got up I thought someone was aggravated by something I was saying, and they took a baseball and they threw it at me because I was hopping around and I felt my calf pop. And
no.
So I literally turned and I went, okay, who did that? And they're all looking at me like I'm crazy. And then I went, oh, no, you're not getting away with that. Like, you don't throw things. And they're looking at me like I'm crazy. And then I went to walk. And I was, oh, God. And long story short, I didn't know you could blow a calf muscle. My calf muscle tore.
Wow. How high up was it? Was it where it meets the Achilles, like 2/3 down, or was it up toward your knee?
No, it was literally the fat
meaty part of your calf.
Yeah, they were like, if it was just a little bit here, we would have talking about the Achilles heel and a whole different.
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't hit that. So because of that, I stretch, and I do a lot of stretching before I get out there. I do cardio, but I do a lot of stretching before I go out there. A lot of stretching. Yeah.
Because you didn't before, right?
No.
What comedian goes out there like they're going to the NBA finals? I know. I don't do it. And then I go, but I don't move around that much.
You don't move around.
And I don't do jokes. And I just lay down.
Yeah.
And so
and you sell out. It's called Sleepy Time with Spade. Yeah. I don't know how you sell the tickets.
People love it. They love it.
Lines around the block. You'll get but you're doing a rooster thing. Your hands are out. I mean, it's incredibly physical. So anyway,
I loved. Cool. I grew up with that. Like, I loved Lauren Hardy. And the comedians. Once Pryor came out, Richard Pryor's. I'm the same thing. I'm just a street entertainer. What I grew up on the street. I just see the story and then I elaborate the story, and then he acts everything out. Like, hey, this is what happened. Now I'm going to act it out. But yeah, I got that San Diego one. I went extremely nuts on that one.
Well, plus you're taping.
Well, it reminded me, because you can fall asleep about stand-up mentally. And when I saw that, I went, damn, commitment should never be underrated. Mm-hmm. And to your point, like Pryor with the gangsters, the one in Long Beach, his special, real commitment to the voice and to the character is extremely entertaining. Whenever I see anybody throw their voice anywhere, I go, do I do that? I better do that. But when you see it, you go, that's really entertaining. So hats off.
Thank you.
You know what you're doing up there, Mr. Brewer.
Well,
he's not walking through it, which is nice. Like you're saying, he's not just going, here's my, when I grew up and I was doing stand-up, Dana, before SNL, Brewer probably the same thing. Like when you go on the road and you work with a headliner, they could do the same 45 every time you see them for 10 years. And then you go, and they're just beginning, middle, end, back and forth. And they walk back and then they get a drink and you go, shit. But for someone to actually think, sometimes you even catch yourself in your own joke and it gets better because you put a new spin on it because you're saying it and you go, what am I really saying here? And you get back into the story the way you thought of it and you got to say it and lean into it and go, this, and it sells it harder. You're not just saying it. And so when Jim is a little more animated or just that style, you have to bring it. It's a little trickier.
It definitely is.
You can't walk through it.
No, I can't walk through this because it's really the bad part of it for me is if that energy is not there, I don't do very. If my energy has to stay down here, I can adjust to it and then I could do, laid back storytelling. But when it's really, really most explosive for me is when I can feel their energy right out of the gate, and then that feeds, I guess, like a band. And then I start going in all different directions that I didn't really plan, and then I'm in the zone. Yeah. And that's when I have so much fun. So much fun. And
because you're surprising yourself in the moment. You're just going off. Yeah.
Yes. That I'm addicted to that. I don't enjoy repeating. Yeah. Like even now, it's all leading up to some specials, but there's one host section. And every night I'm hitting a section, I'm like, oh my God, I'm bored with this already. I need to find another avenue. And then I'll find another avenue. Like, I love it again.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. That's very true.
It's one new bit, one new idea, lifts the whole night up.
God, you try to do another bit. You're going out there and you're doing an hour and you go, I have one joke that's new and you cannot wait. You're like, here I go. We're in the middle. And then I smash it because when it fucking bombs, I put a winner before it and after and I just act like nothing happened. But if it works, the rest of the time I'm like, oh yeah, it does wake you up.
Yes, man, it feels good.
Yeah, you go, I
really
still
good.
can think of fucking jokes. It's so hard.
I hate when something has been killing for a couple years and then just all of a sudden it starts to fade away. And you're
Horrible.
like,
Horrible.
am I not committing to it? You know, I always tell young comedians, I mean, if you see someone run over something in a street, you come up to your apartment, you're talking to your friends, you want to have that kind of commitment and energy. You get right to it. You're very clear. There's this lady driving a car, this and that. And then months later, you just unravel it and you don't really, but your energy is still up there, man.
Well, thank you.
When did you? Let's get to the old.
Wait, Jim Wan said he loved something. What?
What'd you love?
No, I loved. I got excited when I saw you guys hook up together and start doing this. I thought that was really fascinating, interesting. I was like, oh, because there's a billion podcasts now. So hey, we're gonna talk about comedy again. Oh God. So I was at the club. All right. But then when I saw
and the guy didn't pay me, shut the fuck up.
No, we agree. We just kind of went, oh, I guess we'll try this. We started hanging out in LA when I moved back down a lot. And then we just sort of said, let's try it. And we didn't really have a plan, obviously.
But that's the best part of it. I mean, even when I started, like we're able to just, who cares? Because at the end of the day, you can go back on stage. We're already established in that world. All three of us are. So who cares? There's I won't say who it is, but there's a gargantuan, at least 1 or 2 comics on there. Nobody's watching the podcast, but doesn't stop the human being from selling out 18,000 seats somewhere. But this just opens a whole new door for us where in the years ago, we didn't have this.
And human beings are fascinated by anything that feels authentic. Used to think it doesn't have to be funny every second, but this is a new thing. I'm glad I'm around long enough to like, okay, this is a job that I have. A little side gig.
Did you feel at any point you don't want to get vulnerable? Like on the podcast? I don't know how vulnerable the two of you get, like how truthful you guys get.
Dana gets more.
I would imagine. Yeah.
There's different kinds of vulnerability. There's stuff that maybe would involve other loved ones. Wouldn't do that, but you can ask me anything you want about anything.
No, that's the way I mean. That's what I feel like. I over the years have found out the more vulnerability I put out there, the more honesty, even if I think people are like, oh, I don't care. I'm at the point. I don't care what you know about me. I'm going to tell you everything. This one's bad. I don't care.
Tough
I don't
shit.
care.
Yeah.
You got nothing to hold on me anymore.
Like it. My problem, Jim, is I'm like a tough guy, a hard ass athlete. That's my persona. So people don't think anything could ever get to me.
Impenetrable.
Because I'm so...
You can't get... Yeah.
I'm like the Schwarzenegger of comedy. And so when they see me, they go, nothing's wrong. There's nothing else other than toughness.
After about 100 of these, I realized there
I'm the
was
Lenny Dykstra of... well, that's not a good one.
Lenny Dykstra.
Nails. That's
I don't know
getting.
About that. If you
I was getting just to nails. That's all. Other than that,
how about a podcast called "There's No There"? Just so people know, there's nothing. Don't keep. So the name of your podcast is Brew
Niverse.
I got 2 others for you. Ready?
Brewniverse, and it's on YouTube. And is it also audio or is it?
Yeah.
I got one. If you interview people about their feelings, one's called Brew Who, and the other one is called The Brew Crew.
Yes,
with you and a couple guys.
I like
that's
that.
too easy. Well, we'll go back to Brew Who.
And then a fitness segment called Hit the Gym.
Wow,
why that doesn't have brew in it?
I think you guys.
No, but
it's got to hit the gym. I like that. Well, Dave, I feel honored because one of them is Brew Crew.
Ooh.
Like we started a whole Brew Crew section, shirts, blah blah blah. But the other one, the who would you say?
Brew Who?
Brew Who, where it's sharing.
Will make you cry. Yeah,
I like that. I like that
make
a lot.
You cry. Yeah.
Just take it and run with it and start
Thank
the
you.
shirts and hats.
Do I owe you guys any?
No.
Is this
No.
Okay, thank you.
No, you're good, dude.
There is a little envelope in that hotel room and some per diem.
I got you.
$200.
I got you.
Jim, I don't know if you're ever in LA, but when I drive on PCH coming onto the 10, there's an old Sears. It says you used to work at Sears.
Yeah.
I used to love Sears, and now I'm like, this building I think is toast. I don't know what's going on with it.
Well, they're closing all of them, and
Are they? Is that because of the massive robberies, or did they skip Sears?
I have no clue. I just know
Target and other ones kind of beat them up a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I think would happen. But did you know? Guys know Freddie Armisen?
Yeah.
So me and
Fred Armisen, yes.
me and Freddie graduated from the same high school, and Freddie and I used to work at Sears.
I love it.
In Valley Stream, and he was like, dude, Freddie he used to have a mohawk. That's before mohawks were cool. Like, he had a mohawk.
I would love a mohawk.
And he had combat boots he would wear. And he had,
What?
Yes. And he'd walk around with like these guys that had dead Kennedy jackets on. Like, oh,
And he worked in the lawnmower department, or what?
He worked in. I want to say he worked in the auto department, but only, as like a sales guy at the clinic. And
wow.
Yeah. You know, I don't know, Bob, you know it, but when I was there, I did a big bomb threat, which, I made a bit, but it was real. Like, I cleared the entire store because they thought, yeah, I swear to God. So I'm sure that both of you, especially Dana, have done so. When I worked there, I'm like 19 years old. Mm-hmm. I would call other departments as characters all day long.
That's funny.
Right. So I have a dangling cross earring. I'm wearing my Judas Priest denim jackets. This is where I'm at. And there's a big fat guy that worked in toys. And so whenever the Cabbage Packs would come out, he'd have all these Jamaican women come in and pissed off because there were no black Cabbage Patch stuff. So they're like, why are we waiting for 5 hours? So you'd have and that's when I'd call, and you have to pick up the phone. And I'd pick them up like, hey, I need you to go look for Wilson basketball and don't put me in a hole. So anyway, this one day,
Stupid.
I swear on my kids' lives, this is a true story. So I work in paint. I don't know anything about paint. I know nothing about it. People would come look at me like, hey, man, we want to paint the kitchen. I'm like, yeah, I would stain it. Like, I don't know what the hell does people. So this guy.
You got to sand it. What?
Right. So there's a guy in hardware. And I could see him. He's right down the aisle. And I walk in his department, like, hey, man, I'm Jim, working paint, blah, blah, blah. And he gets really snippy. He's like, hey, you know what, man? Stay in your department. You look high all the time. And, you don't know anything about what you're saying. So
he's overheard one conversation with you with paint.
This is 86, 7-ish. And all I remember, we had a big ordeal going on with Libya, right? It was all everywhere. He shot missiles at a plane, and we got to kill Muammar Gaddafi. So I call up. I could see this. I could see him, and he picks up the phone, and I say, "Hello." He's all professional. Yeah, it's John. Sears Hardware, Valley Stream. How may I help you? And I said, this is, I'm doing the whole accent. This is Muammar Gaddafi. I've sent 6 Libyan missiles to blow up the Sears Hardware department. And I'm going on and on. I'm doing the noises. And I said, long live paint, right? And I hang up. So I swear to God, right? So I go into the break room because to go in the break room, you had to go through the paint, the doors for everyone would come out through paint. And so I'm in the break room and I'm hanging out for like 20 minutes. And I'm like, let me go back out there. Nobody's out there. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So, like nobody's, there's no customers, there's no people. I go in the toys and the candy and then the security guy comes out and he's like, hey man, you got to get out of here. So what's going on? The new guy got a bomb threat. What? What do you mean you got a bomb threat? He's like, yeah, man.
You don't even remember 20 minutes ago.
Right? I said, well, that was me. I said, I was Muammar Gaddafi. I said, I was setting missiles. What the fuck? I said, I ended with long live paint.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh man, well, we had to evacuate this and the mall. I'm like, the mall? You're fucking evacuating the mall? So this is Valley Stream, Green Acres Mall. Long story short, I had to talk with cops and they all laughed. I had to meet with the head guy of Long Island. Of all the paint. And he sits me down and he's got a suit and tie and I come walking in there and he's like, so tell me what happened that day at the paint department. And I'm like, I should have been doing more paint. I apologize, but all my stuff was done. I got all the sales ones up in the front display, and it was slow that night. So I keep things light, and I called him, and I said I was Muammar Gaddafi, and I sent missiles to hit Sears Hardware, and I ended by saying "Long live paint." And dude, this guy goes, all right, why don't you just sell more paint and we do a little less phone calls? And I keep my job? Like, yeah. That guy quit after 5 days because everyone would walk by his department going, look out, there's missiles coming.
Oh, John?
Eventually he just, yeah. Well, dude, he was in his 40s. And I'm sorry, if you're working Sears Hardware and you're 40, like something happened. You know what I mean? Like he's either living in the basement, like this bad divorce, something's going. You ain't working Sears Hardware.
And by the way, it's Muammar Gaddafi calling directly. He doesn't have some guy call to threaten.
Yes,
that's a red flag right there.
Muammar Gaddafi's calling the hardware
from Libya
department.
all the way to a Sears Hardware department.
Valley Springs.
I'm going to call 5,000 tonight. You're the first.
You tell the people of the hardware and the tool bits that they're going down.
You tell Prescott, Nevada, that I'm coming for them. You spread it around.
This is straight from the Dutch brothers with paint. Is that something?
And you tell the department store Stearns next to you, they are next.
I'm going after Radio Shack.
Chess King.
Every Radio Shack is going to be gone by morning. My name is Gratna Baki.
No more Chess King. You will never buy 3 suits for $99. Ever again.
Food court. Goodbye.
Baskin Robbins must die.
I have no problem with Panda Express.
Goodbye, Panda King. All of you. China Walk.
So long, Sabaro.
Tata Tater Junction. That sort of made sense.
But
what?
So yeah, I know Freddie was. I think Freddie was one.
Did he get caught in the rubble, or what happened with that? So here, I don't even get the story. I go, so no bombs. The bomb didn't hit.
No.
Okay.
No Gaddafi. No bomb. Just a joke.
Just a joke.
Some people just go, but there must have been some kind of bomb. It was some threat. No, it was really made up. But something got damaged. No.
No.
Nothing did. No, it was all made up.
Yep.
That's good, though, Dana. We stumbled into Sears because I love Sears, and I used to go to the Wish book and get all my...
I always loved Sears.
The Wish book for Christmas. You know, you go through it and circle stuff, and then Santa would get it.
The only thing is my brother, I had 3 older, the brother got the Schwinn Stingray Monster Green.
Score.
My parents ran out of money, so nothing against Sears, but I got the Sears front loader. And it was just such a downgrade from the Schwinn, but that I recovered.
Jim's like, I knew a guy in bikes at Sears.
Jim had a great Schwinn Stingray as a kid.
I had a Schwinn Scrambler.
Oh.
And it had
multiple gears?
It had mag wheels.
No way.
All my life. And this is when I realized
you're lying. There's no way.
Absolutely. And I'm right around my neighborhood, all like, yeah, I got a Schwinn Scrambler with black mag wheels. Eat it. It was stolen that night out of my garage. That's the neighborhood. It was like, yeah, no, we don't show off here. Take it.
Oh, you showed off. Oh, you puffed up.
Riding through the neighborhoods.
What's up?
I almost got my bike stolen, but
new
my friends
pimp
and
sled.
We went into a hardware store and we shoplifted bike locks, and then came out and locked up our bikes. True story.
That's a good. Well, there was also a big racket going at Sears. Like you go to it was like gangster mafia. I swear my life, there's a guy. I think his name was the Benedetto, and he'd be in class. He'd be like high school. The Benedetto would be like, Brewer, you know anyone wants a VCR? And VCRs then were like, oh shit, you can score a VCR. He's like, you're gonna go into hardware. You're gonna buy like a wrench for like $1.99, and you're gonna buy a garbage pail. The garbage pails you got to pick up down by the loading dock. You ask for Vinny. You'll have that. The VCR will be in that, but I got to get you $40 by Friday. Oh my God. Are you serious? They were.
Dude, that's a score.
It was a huge score. These guys were just shit. Oh, man.
I just have to say that because you're standing and moving to the camera, it's like you're making your own feature film.
It's so
like you're going into a close-up and your face is a little distorted because your chin is down. So you're totally this weird character in a movie just then. I was going, damn, what is going on? It's like, hey, I want to say to you this, motherfuckers.
Jim, this guy in my 7th grade, and he was such a little puss, but he was such a tough talker, and he goes, hey, man, where you going to... I go, I'm thinking I'll move. One time he busted me because he goes, what are you doing this summer, Spade? I go, we're thinking of heading to Calif. I tried to be fucking cool. I said Calif. He goes, you fucking tried to say Calif and not say the whole word to be cool. And I go, no, I was going to say California. He goes, no, you weren't. He told everyone. But he was such a little puss. And he walked around and he said, so no one would bother him. He goes, I'm tied into the Bonanno family. And it was like a big real mafia family. And everyone was like, holy shit. No one questioned, why is a 7th grader working for the Bonanno family? But we all stayed away from him because that scares people.
Dude, I grew up around all those bananas.
The bananas.
There is nothing.
It's funny.
We'd be playing roller hockey and in the middle of the game, we're like 9 years old, 11 years old, a bunch of us. And I remember there's always a couple kids like, did you hear what happened to Uncle Nicky? What? The government arrested him for taxes or something. And then I never met, there was at least 3 kids that I knew, and their fathers would always get arrested, but no one really knew what they're and you don't know what's going on. And then the older you get, you're like, oh shit, my God, their parents are tied in the mafia. How do you know that? They come from Little Italy? I mean, what do you think? They're fucking doing politics there? Like, what do you yeah, they found a guy behind around my street, this little bar I used to go into, Kate Saloon. And in there, it was only, I think we were going there for like a year, and we'd sneak in there, and the cops are all out there like, what's going on? They found a guy in cement and a bunch of boxes. Like, what? Holy shit. Yeah, that, I watched all that around me. And dude, even when you start making it too, I'm sure both you guys were approached by many type of people. They all come out of the woodwork.
You know what I get, Dana, is a guy will come up to me to this day, and he'll like come up to me at a restaurant, and there's some girls near us, and he walks up, he goes, "Hey man, what's going on? My name's Mikey, fucking blah blah blah. I'm all cool, like." And then he turns me 2 inches and he goes, "Hey girls, my buddy Spade, blah blah. I just want to say hi." And I'm like, "Wait, I just met Mikey literally 4 seconds ago." But it's an interesting move. Like, he's my man. And some people are middlemen. Like, they go, "Hey, you should come to this thing," and then they'll tell the place they're bringing me, and then he's the middleman getting attention because he's like the guy that got me in. But he goes, "Hey, these guys want you to come," and then I go, and then he goes, "Hey, they take care of your dinner," and then he goes. Then I see him with the waiter going, "Just pay for his dinner." Like, he's a fucking on TV. And I'm like, oh, this wasn't even set up ahead. This is just a guy, a flim-flam man, bullshitting his way through town. But there's a lot of those. There's more of those than real people.
No, you're right.
So how were you in high school, Jim? I mean, were you popular? Were you a stud? Were you a nerd?
No. I was way too shy. I wasn't a stoner yet. I didn't try pot until my senior year, right before I graduated. But that really didn't kick in until I was like 21 years old. But high school, I was really quiet, unless I was the back of the room kid. So I'd always go for the back of the room. And once I was back of the room, if I can disrupt this guy and get this guy on my team or this chick on my team, and then we'd have, I'd draw little cartoons, try to crack up this one. But it wasn't until we did a sketch night. And And basically, this kid, one of my best friends, was like, "Jim, you got to do sketch night." I'm like, "I'm not doing no sketch night." He's like, "No, man, this is different. They're really cool." I'm like, I don't want anything to do with theater. So nah. So they basically, like a Cosby bit, our school, each grade had to do a thing from the Bible, even though we weren't a school of faith, right? So my friend writes up pretty much, and he swears he had no clue Cosby did it, was the Cubits bit. God goes, "Noah, I need you to, build a bank. Cubit, what's a cubit?" He goes, but all at that time, all I would do is all day imitate professional wrestlers running into the lockers, smashing their heads. And the other thing I would do is talk like Eddie Murphy, non-stop, all day. So he said, "Do it as Eddie Murphy." So I finally agreed to it. And this is now that I really think of it, like, I could really get today's world. Oh my God, they would have me. He's racist. He needs to be canceled. So I came out as Moses, but as Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy being Moses. And all I remember was,
well, I got to hear this.
Yeah.
So I came out and I was like, "What? Your mother?" I'm doing all that. And the place explodes. I've never
killed that hard since.
Not really. I've been trying to.
It's the most memorable, though.
Maybe I should do all my stuff that I'm doing now. Just do it as Murphy back in '85.
Yeah, that's funny.
But the next day in school, I swear to God, it's like a movie. So all the hot chicks are like, "Oh my God, you're so funny." All the guys I always were intimidated by, like the jocks, and they were like, "Bro, we got to hang out, man. You're a pisser. I never known you were such a pisser."
It's like a teen movie. Everything's going perfectly the next day.
It was Dave. If you wrote the script, you were that's a little too predictable.
Too corny.
Yeah, it really was that. And then the next night I had to do it again. They were chanting. And I was already on the verge of like, I'm going to be a stand-up. I'm doing it. But this put me over the edge. That was like, oh yeah, I'm going after this.
Did you swear at the high school thing or no? Did you
No.
say motherfucker? Yeah, but
No.
Okay, I'm just curious.
You did it without swearing. That's pretty
but
good.
I said your mother a lot. I'm like, yeah,
That-
what'd you say? And I was doing this with my hands for some reason.
Like
I'm
gang
what is
signs.
that? What is that? Your mother. Ah.
Your mother. Your mother was enough back then. We didn't need crude language.
Yeah, you could hint at it. Now it's got to be nail on the head.
Yeah, high school. If you can be cool, that's fucking spreads like wildfire. That's great.
Yeah. So that, but otherwise, high school, I really wasn't. I was mostly quiet. I grew up on a street. We never had to leave the street. I mean, we had chicks. We had everyone who I still hang out with is from that street. We're all within 2-3 years of each other. It was, I really, to me, that was the greatest. Everyone knew each other. Everyone looked after each other. It was like brothers and still is to this day. So
but was that where were you? What city?
Valley Stream.
You keep saying this fake name, but where is that?
What state?
Oh, I'm sorry. New York.
Thank you. It sounds California. Long Island.
And so we grew up where Valley Stream, the end of the street, almost like the movie 8 Mile, the end of the street was all black. We were the beginning of all white. So you had this racial tension, and we weren't really allowed to walk on their side. They were like, get back on that side. We're like, oh, sorry. And then if they would come down the street, we'd all just stare. Like, oh my God. Like, what? So
you don't do shit, you pussy.
What's that?
You don't do anything?
We were scared to death. Are you kidding?
Yeah, what were you going to challenge the neighborhood?
With a
car, with a popsicle stick you sharpened.
Well, were you friends with any black guys then or no?
You guys are in trouble now.
I'm going to sharpen this popsicle stick. It's like a knife, man.
You roll a hula hoop at them. Take
Go
that.
get some dirt bombs.
Oh, so dirt clods, yeah.
So then you're friends with these guys still because of that bond of that street.
Yeah. They come to every time. Yeah. Have either one of you played the Paramount in Huntington, New York?
Yes. Is that when they give you a brick afterwards?
Yes.
It's a fucking 40-pound brick. I'm flying out the next day.
I'm on Southwest,
I have to take it. It's got my name on it, and we go like a few blocks, and the driver goes, "Just pull over." So they're somewhere. But great club, very hot. Hot room.
Dave, they are hands down the greatest people towards artists. I think it's one of the greatest venues in the whole country.
They are.
The downstairs, they have that whole hip private room and all that jazz. But I play there like every 3-4 months. And the kids that I grew up with, they always meet me there. And then we go downstairs in a room and, it's like being a bunch of knuckleheads back being kids again.
Do you ever hear this, though, with relatives or friends that come to your shows? Backstage, they go, no matter how many times I hear those bits, they're still funny to me.
Such a burn.
Yeah. Well,
it's such a quiet
I've heard that
burn.
thing you did 35 times. I still laugh.
I actually, that's based on me, I think. And you're like, no. I tell everyone that's about me, right? No.
So how did these friends?
It's not you. Go ahead.
How did they respond when you started to get really successful? I mean, first you must have exploded in the clubs or became a headliner at some point, right? Started to make good money. I'm assuming you weren't a 10-year tortured guy. It seems like with your skill set and attitude, pretty quickly no one wanted to follow you. Put it that way.
Yeah. So that started 89 to about 93. And that's when so Long Island, then my parents did the move. They went to Florida. I moved down there and I kind of lost my whole direction moving down there. I couldn't really afford New York on my own. So I went down there and then I reamped and I started going to comedy clubs. So it's 89 started. Couple months.
In Florida, you started. In Florida. Okay.
Yeah. And then that led to being on the road, I can't follow this guy. This kid's a pain in the ass. And that was I gotta say, that was the greatest time ever. Like just staying in crappy condos and listening to like, I've been doing comedy like 10 years and you hear all the story. It was a lot of fun. And then
did you ever have novelty acts where you show up at the comedian's condo and like the ventriloquist took the headliner's bedroom?
Oh yeah.
Can't do that.
Because for people who are listening, there's a comedian's condo and there's usually the headliner gets the master bedroom. But
sure.
If the clown showed up early, and then you're like, well,
why is there a juggler in the master?
Yeah, exactly. The novelty acts. They had a guy we had a puppet named Chuck Wood, and he didn't want you to look at it. Don't touch Chuck. I mean, it really was like a human being to him.
Prop
it's a piece of wood, fuckface. So anyway, go ahead. I'm only walking my way up to your SNL thing and trying to figure out the timeline of that where you found yourself as a performer.
So stand up brings me back to Long Island. Now I'm getting the city clubs. I landed my first TV show pretty quick, but it was an all urban black show, Uptown Comedy Club, and they filmed it. It was the real poor man's
Apollo
in living color.
Was it on UPN? Do you remember what UPN was?
I think I remember that show.
No, I think
MTV.
No, Dave. No, actually, MTV took the show. What's his name? Took the show. He told me. He told when I saw it on. What's his name?
Herzog?
Oh God,
Robert Townsend.
No. So it's filmed in Harlem. It was a great show. It was fun.
But you're doing sketches on it.
We're doing sketches, and now I'm doing the clubs at night. I'm doing like 7-8 sets on the weekends, and I'm in every club, and I'm feeling like I'm a badass. And then I got a huge development deal, and then another development deal, and then me and Chappelle were launched to spin off of a Tim Allen show, The Home Improvement, and we filmed. I was on the cover of TV Guide.
Shit.
I was buying leather pants.
Yeah.
I was like, this was happening. And the second episode, the commercials were on. It was called Buddies. We were following Home Improvement, and they fired me.
What?
Right before? Yeah, they fired me the second episode, right before the premiere. So I had my childhood friends out.
Oh.
You want to talk about traumatizing, right? So I just remember I just got told like, hey man, they let you go. Like but the commercials are on. Like, I don't, how's like, they're still airing the commercials. Like, what the fuck is going on? And that was my first big taste of Hollywood.
Gross.
All right. So now, so now I go to my room, and thank God my best friends were there that I grew up with, because they bring it back to blue collar. Because I'm like, oh my God, the whole Hollywood world, they're gonna be fucking angry. And they already crushed my mini bar, and it's like 1 p.m. Like, hey man, you're right. Something happened. It's, fucking, they fired me. Like, what do you mean they fired you? Like, they fired me. It's like, there's no more doing it. And they think for a second. And my one friend goes, well, I got a fucking limo for tonight, so I guess I'm paying and we're going out because you ain't got a fucking job. And he really just made it so simple. Like, fuck it. You ain't got a job. Let's go hang out. And I went to the Improv on Melrose. And I remember the comedian. You think they're all your friends. You're like, hey man, I heard what happened. Yeah. I'll never forget this. So,
oh no,
your character that got fired. What can you tell me about? Because I'm auditioning tomorrow. I'm like, you mother.
Why?
Blood in the water.
God damn.
What should I do different to get the job you got fired from? You have any hints?
Wow. So then that led to another pilot.
I can't believe Rob
fired
Schneider
them.
would say that to you. That's what shocks me. No, I'm kidding, Rob. He's a friend of ours.
Give me some tips.
I get fired from another one. I'm sorry, I didn't get fired. The main character gets fired. It was Clerks from the movie Clerks.
Okay.
And they fire, what's his name? Kevin Smith. They fire Kevin Smith. So now
they fire the guy who invented
Who's running these shows? Good God.
You get rid of Kevin Smith. And so the Frenchie something from Third Rock from the Sun was on the show.
Stewart.
And yes, Frenchie Stewart was part of it. He was a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
It gets picked up and then it gets dropped. And then I'm developing. And then SNL is like, hey, will you audition? And on my life, I said, no way am I doing that show. And like, why? I'm like, no, because I saw this one and this one and this one go into that show and they came out miserable, dark human beings. I don't know what's going on there. I already hate the industry. I've already seen enough. And so the process to get on, which by the way, Lauren loves you, Dana. Loves you.
I love
Dave,
Lauren.
I'm sure he loves you too. But
I was about to say, like, you don't have to lean so hard. You started saying a D, and I started to look at the camera a little harder, and then you go,
David
Dana.
leaned into it.
No, he loves you guys. He loves.
No, he loves
you guys.
Dana. Fine. He used to bounce Dana on his knee at read through. I remember. It's fine.
Yeah, no, because so it was a process, and then once I saw it was a new cast, and I met Will at the club. I was the last guy hired on that cast. Dave was Spade was still on there.
I did a year overlap with you, correct?
Yes.
And Will Ferrell started. Was it Sherry O'Terry?
Yep.
Sherry, Chris Kattan, and your
David Koechner,
Daryl
Nancy
Hammond.
Walls,
Yeah.
Daryl
So they were
Hammond.
sort of replacing not only Dana, because
That
he
was
had
a
just
big
gone, but
reset.
yeah,
year.
because Farley
Huge
left,
reset.
Adam left.
Yeah.
It was replacing that whole bunch. Yeah, and I hung a year too long.
Dave, do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember the? So we for us, I'm like, oh my God, this is really happening. Now we're really going to be on TV. You, Dave, we were on the bleachers and we're giving a press conference. All right. Norm is right next to me. You are one level down. And to be honest with you, I'm starstruck by you and I'm starstruck by Norm. Right. I'm like, oh my God. And Norm came up to me. Hey, man, you're funny. And they're going, Marcy Klein's going, Norm, look at the goddamn cigarette. He's like, I'm not done yet. And he's smoking at this press conference. And then he finishes it and they asked me a question. And Lauren goes, no, it was Warren Littlefield. And Warren Littlefield goes, Jim Brewer. He goes, Jim Brewer, you're like the New York guy. You grew up here. And what's it like being perhaps the real New Yorker and your whole life watched Saturday Night Live, and now here you are, part of this new cast? And I just simply went, I didn't watch Saturday Night Live growing up. And you went, wrong answer. You said something like that.
Oh my God.
But you said it like under your breath. But I could tell it generally made you laugh, and I didn't know what that meant. And then, like, he tried to recover, and I just knew at that moment, I'm like, oh no.
Oh, because Marcy came up and strangled you.
Oh my God, that was a bad answer. And then they tried to recover and said, I said, oh no, it was because I was a kid and I wasn't allowed to stay up that late. Said, surely when you were older. And I went, no, man, I was out Saturday night. So
boy.
Fuck, I'm so stupid. What the
Jesus.
fuck? So stupid. Oh my God, Brewer. Fucking...
They go, do you know where you are right now? And you're like, I don't even know what the fuck is going on. Where am I?
I was like, I just got fired from this and that. I don't know what's going
Am
on.
I fired again?
Yeah, Kevin Smith is gone. Like, come on. I don't fucking ask me these questions. Ask Will a question. He's happy.
So you came in with all those people. Now, hosted maybe 95 or 96, but
96.
I remember you as just a powerhouse. Because on the show I did, the Joe Pesci show, which we should talk about, and then the madness and silliness and the verbal, I think we talked about it when I was there, of Goat Boy.
GB.
That thing was like, those two bits were killer as far as when I hosted. I think I came on the Pesci show. Was I Ross Perot or some shit? I don't know.
Yes. Yeah.
With Pesci. And then Goat Boy. So anyway, I showed up a year later, and it looked like you were, just doing.
Cocky.
You were hot.
I felt good, but you brought, like, when you came on. I mean, we started off with Tom Hanks.
Whoa!
And then that's where the Goat really got launched.
Did you do the first show with Tom Hanks? Your first show?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And we did the Goat. And to be honest with you, that character, I pitched it as a guy with Tourette's. That's all. I said, I want to do a guy, and he gets nervous. He gets nervous when he's with chicks, and he sings, and he starts, a little here. And then Tom Giannis, who was a writer, waited months, and he finally came to. I already forgot about it. No one cared about this character. And he comes to me. He goes, hey, I think I got a great idea. So I've been thinking about the Goat. I went, that was 8 months ago. He's like, no. So what if it was an experiment? Because we're in the Middle East a lot, so they're hydrating, and they have to get up in the mountains, but our soldiers can't do it, so they get a goat and a person and the military, but it doesn't work. So they just really sing about it a lot, and then so they don't know what to do with this guy who loves the 80s, and so a VH1 gives them a show. I'm like, are you serious? That's the craziest shit I've ever heard. And they insisted on doing it, and I was pissed. Like, this is so stupid, and it murdered. It was just confusing to people.
You had goat ears. You were like a scientific hybrid.
I hated the outfit. I didn't want the.
But the thing about it, Jim, is that as an audience member watching it, it's like I don't know how long you're going to bray as a goat, or when you might hit a little one. So there's an improvisational quality that the audience can feel. You as a performer are in tune with that from all that stand-up of like, oh, they like it. I'm going to hit one here, and I'm going to do a long one here. So it had this thing that was pretty electric.
Everyone's just waiting for it. Then you go a long time without it, and everyone's like, and then you hit it again. Yeah. It is.
Well, here's something you don't know, and I owe you an apology, and you don't even know why.
Oh, okay. Accepted.
Yes. No. So when first of all, you came on, for a lot of us, especially me, I was like, oh shit, like this is wow. And Lorne was already prepping the table, like, we're gonna have, when Dana comes here, it's gonna be like, he was already setting the table. You guys have no clue how this is going down, right? So I never had anyone improv, right? And by the time you came on, I started feeling like, I'm starting to have those Tuesday night dinners.
Okay, you're in the cool group.
All right, so I'm having Tuesday night dinners. I'm like, oh shit,
Jim. The Branzino was fresh.
Yes. Give it a try.
Right, and you came on and absolutely murdered. You were Wham. The other
George Michael.
George Michael's. Yeah,
I did Faith.
George Michael, and you were murdering. And I would like I look back in time like, God damn it, I wish I just listened and watched more and then fed off your energy. Where during that, you're crushing, and then I would do something, but then you'd improv, and I'd be like, you're stepping on my shit. And I try to recover. And there was even one where I put like an angry go. I was like, and
I was George Michael, and who were you?
Goat Boy.
Yeah, like
is that mashup? Yeah, God, I remember now. Yeah. So it's George Michael and the Goat Boy. Sorry.
Yeah,
yes.
You were so funny at it, but it was the first time that we really had someone, what I would say is super professional and like so in the element of live. Like we're still learning. Dave already left. Spade already left. So now we're figuring out, like, we stick to the lines. We don't go too far off it, but you brought this whole, and I just wish at that moment I understood that even better. Because that sketch probably would have went to even a monstrosity level if I was willing to play as much as your expertise.
But you probably also thought you would get in trouble.
I did.
Well, but just for a second, I mean, I had done 140 shows. Then I'm coming back. This was your third show? Fourth?
This was the second season.
Season.
Maybe my third real sketch.
Yeah, and I felt that I needed 60 or 80 shows for the audience to kind of discover me and for me to get more confident. I mean, in another level, I mean, I got more confident, but you were still early on. So, I just thought you were a kindred spirit, that you were playing with rhythms. I thought your Pesci was great.
Thank you.
And it was just a really funny take on Joe Pesci. I don't know. I thought you were just a completely kindred spirit to me as a performer.
I felt that way. And I really admired like both you guys. Like whenever you guys would just like, Dave once in a while would come up and he would just interact with me backstage. I'm like, Dave just talk to me. He thinks I'm cool. He didn't, you had no clue you had that effect. But people always say, how was your experience there? And I always say, I loved being a part of the whole thing. And between you and I would have loved to even still be on there. I wanted to be the guy who stays on there for like 8 years. And then the summer times makes killer movies. I wanted to make Lauren proud. I wanted to, and don't always go that way. I started having with Fred Wolf, who is
our friend, both of us.
Fred. Great.
He was a tremendous ally, and Steve Korn and those guys. And then once they quit, it was a lot more difficult.
You were on your own.
That. Yeah, and it was and they told me that. They literally, I swear to God, I'll never forget. I didn't understand what they meant. And Fred came up to me and said, Jimmy B, you're my guy, but I gotta be honest with you, I'm leaving, man. I'm gonna go help Spade. And I said, you're on your own, bro. It's gonna get tough. I didn't understand what that meant.
Politically, you didn't have anyone backing you?
I had no clue what that meant.
And then I learned
it.
We've heard a version of this story from other cast members. Go ahead.
And then when Steve Korn left, he was the last guy. Like, I didn't know you can go to Lauren and plead your case. And I think it was my third episode, and I had enough with certain individuals, not cast writers. And it was really, I realized I was fighting egos, which you can't fight. And it was extremely frustrating. It made me very angry. And I remember that night, it was Matthew Broderick. And the person came in and said, hey, I know it worked during the dress show, but we're not going to do that. We're going to do the other thing. I was like, you motherfucker, you want that sketch on so goddamn, you fucking. So I said, whose decision was that? Lauren. I said, well, then I'll go talk to Lauren. He went, no. And I went, no. I'm fucking talking to Lauren, and I want to hear from him. We're not doing this shit because I had enough of your shit. You've been nonstop. And then I knew at that moment, it's like those memes. This is the moment when Jim knew he fucked up. And I got a call that summer from an NBC executive. And he's like, Jim, I don't tell anyone. I can get fired for this. But what happened between you and so-and-so? Well, I don't know. He's like, well, they're trying to oust you right now. I'm like, what? They're like, oh yeah, they're zoning in. These guys want you out. I'm like, really? I say, you know what? I don't want to be there if that's the way it's going to be. I really don't want to be there. I'm smoking pot all the time, trying to numb myself. I'm becoming angry. I've seen enough. I've seen enough. I was also traumatized by the Farley situation. So I saw enough on both sides of the curtain. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have some kids. I'm gonna walk away for a little while. I'm not made for this. I'm really not made for this. Not in this style of environment.
Sure.
Where it's that hardcore show business. But I really wanted to be there for, like, I loved the show. I loved showing up on Thursdays to watch the band. I loved hanging out the bands. I would watch the other sketches. I would cheer our cast on.
Yeah, you're a good cheerleader. You are.
I fucking love it, man. I cheer for everyone. I really don't. I'm not in competition with anyone. But so that was my tenure. But I also realized as life went on, like, Lorne he's like I'll use the word mobster, where I would go to, they're like, hey, we want to meet with you. And the first thing they'd always say, so how are you with Lorne? I'm like, I don't know. This is a reality TV show. Like, does it really matter right now? I'm like, yeah, I think it was good. I think we ended okay. And it did. And the last thing Lorne said to me was, Jim, you're too nice for this industry. If you ever want to do anything, I'm your producer. And I said, thank you, Lorne. And that's how we, and I see him in like the 40th or something like that. But
wow.
I always had a deep admiration for him, because I also understand his view, where he's watching people and bringing them to a place, and some people get frustrated and they think they need more attention. But I don't know. I even just having kids and dealing with that with a little staff here and there, I don't know how you do that with entertainers like us that are just nonstop. Right. You're like, oh my God,
what is it about that show? I mean, the people we've interviewed, some of them have said similar kind of stories. One cast member said, I don't really know why I left or what really happened, but there was a sea change. A couple of writers left, and these are very successful people. And suddenly it got kind of tilted. But none of us ever get that experience out of our heads just because it's 8H, it's New York City, it's live, it's you'll never get it quite out of it. But I just think, yeah, you're such an organic sketch player. Like, it just fits you like a glove. And it's too bad you didn't have all you needed was one writer who gets you, who also has a voice in the room after read through.
Steve Korn.
And it was great writing. Yeah. And hell of a
great guy, yeah.
So
but also, I had one against me, but I had a couple for me. And then, but it was still, things were getting killed because I didn't have everybody on my team. So it would be like half would get through, a third. And I was like, I had a dissident in there. Is that the word? And, but you don't know that usually. I didn't know till later. And then you're like, fuck, it drives you batty. Like, you don't know what's going on.
No, you don't know what's going on. Even to the point where, I found out something else later down the line. But I think why it's so frustrating for you, Dave, people like me, Dana, I would say more comedians. The reason being, we do our presentation, we get the immediate feedback, so we know what works. So when you're when you're creating a sketch or whatever, and you know it's going to crush, and then you do the read through, and it murders, and then it's not even acknowledged. We say, imagine you're going for a baseball team, and you're like, okay, everyone line up. All right, Spade, you're up. Ping! Oh shit, this guy's hit 12 line drives, off the wall, 3 in the upper deck. All right, here comes another. This guy looks smart. He's got glasses. Where he's from? Harvard. Okay, Harvard guy. Okay, that's a bunt. All right, it's a one strikeout. Caught looking. Wow, it's another one caught looking with the runners on base. Jesus. Okay, so here's who we picked. We picked out the Harvard guy. Like, what? Wait, are we going to the game? Like, are we competing today? What is going on? And so it was when you're in those battles and you see them with your own 2 eyes, you just go, oh my, there's no rhyme or reason.
Well,
and
sometimes, did you have anyone who would like you kill with that and it doesn't get on the show that was in the room with Lauren picking the show? Not even in an angry way, but like, what's up with my sketch? I mean, what was it? How is it too redundant? Host didn't like it. Was there any rhyme or reason that you could find out about?
I wouldn't, but what I would get. I'm starting to have flashbacks now. Yeah. I thought I buried this and I patted it all down, but now like.
Yes, mission accomplished.
There was this is what drove me nuts. I would get this. Hey, listen, Lauren doesn't like drunk characters. The character's really funny that you do, but he's since like John and stuff, like he doesn't nothing like drinking related. He's not into it. I went, oh, okay. 2 weeks later, very similar, but now different cast member, and they just changed the angle, made it a little smarter. And you're sitting there going, I know what the fuck you just did. They don't know. I know what the fuck you just did.
I'm getting flashbacks to Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
Then I have this, right? This one. Oh. So you're in your room. It's like 3:30 in the morning. You're almost done with the sketch that you're finally going for. And this fucker would come in my doorway. Hey, with his little pencil in his mouth. So I see that you're doing a sketch about meatballs or whatever it was. He's like, I just want you to know I'm writing one just like it. Like, how do you know I'm writing a sketch? Well, we have a server with what everyone's writing. I'm like, well, he's like, I'm just telling you, I'm writing one, and most likely it'll get on.
Oh boy!
What? That's aggressive.
Okay. Okay.
So you're still going to write yours? That's what they want you to go. Oh, I'll skip it then.
Yeah, right. Like, but he's also someone that gets in the room.
Yeah, because it's going to bump with him, and he'll kick you out.
And you're like, God damn! Like that is foul. That's just foul. So yeah, there was individuals that one in particular who I would call out, and always just honest when I told you this story. And then he finally reached out on Twitter. He goes, stop lying about I'm the one who wanted to get you fired. And I went, well, it's the truth. Well, that's what. And then he finally, I said, I don't do Twitter. You can call me and we can talk about it. And he couldn't believe,
Interesting. Go ahead. Yeah.
He couldn't believe I was holding on to this long. But just like anywhere, if you're enjoying your life and someone goes, hey man, I'm going to make your life miserable and get you fired, you fucking remember that. So the person emailed me and he said, it went from, I never had any pull with Lauren. And the fact that you think I actually had any power to try to get you fired is just ludicrous. I have zero power. I go, well, it's funny because I know for a fact someone in that room called me. And they said, quote, Jim needs to go. I think he's an issue. We can get someone who's just as funny and maybe more animated, blah, 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 blah. I think he's way overrated, blah, blah, blah. And he could tell by the quote, he's like, oh shit. So who's he talking to? So then his next email said, well, maybe I didn't encourage them to keep you. And then I finally said who the person was. And they went, well, I'm sorry that you've been holding on to this. You're a great power. If I did that, I apologize, blah, blah, blah. And I went, that's all right. I just wanted you to acknowledge that I knew. And because this person's an incredible writer.
And it's tough. It's tough coming from somebody good too.
He's so good. I wish I could be in any of his stuff. They're incredible, and that's what was more. That's what hurt more, and that's what was more frustrating. It's like, dude, just if you don't like me, just there's other ways to do it, as long as it's funny.
There's an organic, volatile, emotionally violent thing around Saturday Night Live. It just is. You throw 10 comedians in a room, 20 writers, and there's only so many spots on the show, and all kinds of stuff happens. You create alliances. It's Game of Thrones. You start moving the chess pieces.
Survivor.
I'll get this person. Yeah. I'll combine with this person. We'll try to defeat, So it's a very typical story. I mean, the great thing is, like, you're as funny or funnier than you've ever been, and you're killing it.
I feel
you got
that
a
way.
huge following, and you're just, everybody's at some point off SNL, except for Kenan Thompson. But
he's unfireable.
Maybe the greatest cast member ever.
Yeah.
But we all are and it's no matter what happens, even if you're Adam Sandler or Will Ferrell, they're going to say Saturday Night Live in their movies. So it is a thing, but I think you made a great mark, and your story, you just have to forgive the whole experience.
I do.
And I know that
really
we talk to us about it right now. I have the same thing. I'll go completely back to something.
It brings me back
ago,
too. You talking,
and I'll be really animated for 10 minutes and then just move on. But we're all ex-cast members. Yeah. Most people have some regret or something that didn't go. There's certain. Mm-hmm. It's just very common. So anyway, you have my empathy. That's a wicked story.
Well, I'll tell you both. Like, it's I'm honored to come on here. I've always looked up to both of you. I've always looked up to the both of you. So, like, when I saw you guys connecting, I really like the fact that you can finally see a different side of the two of you, just a talking side, and you can go in all these directions. And I love what you guys are doing. So I was very honored to be part of this.
For sure.
Thank you. It is the thing about podcasting, because if I go on stage, it's always fasten your comedy safety belts there. The man's coming, and now I'm just in a room chatting. I can be myself, but there is that pressure. Oh my God, he's going to fucking levitate, so it's, I mean, it's a good problem to have,
I feel like back at SNL, I was like, especially that year I stayed over, it was such a weird bridge year for me because Adam and Chris left, my two main guys. Schneider was gone. Maybe Timmy was still there, but
Tim was there.
I was only doing Lauren goes, stay, and I'll give you 5 minutes a week, and you do whatever you want. And so I didn't really have to do sketches. So there was a slight disconnect. So I don't even know how I came across to cast, because I was so worried about doing these 5 minutes. I had my own little thing to do. It was like Update. You get your own little chunk. And so I am in the cast, but I'm not really. I don't think I did many sketches. It was more like I'd go on the road, try to do field pieces. So I come back. And I didn't get that close to anybody, even though it was kind of fun. I was in the middle ground, you know what I mean?
You were.
And
you were.
It wasn't as fun for me. It probably wasn't as fun for them to be on the cast with me either, because I felt like I was a senior that stayed a year too long. And I was like, shit, what am I still doing here? And I sort of had that caustic humor, but which, changed over the years. But it was definitely a weird time for me. And I thought I shouldn't be here anymore. It wasn't as fun. It was fun doing those little bits, but there's so much time in between. I mean, I'm not really part of rehearsal. I'm not really part of music. I'm not part of, and the show's going on without me. And I'm with one writer on the side doing bits, pre-tape a lot of the time. So definitely weird. I just didn't get that close to anybody that time. It was like one step too many. I should just pull the plug. But like you, if you got nowhere to go and you're on SNL, everywhere else feels like down.
I know.
And like you're saying these stories, and the reason they resonate is because everyone isn't asking you about buddies. the pilot, they're asking about SNL the rest of your life.
That's
so
right.
they just
That's
have nothing else to say. They go, SNL. And then that's just a thing that you're stuck with. You know,
it's also, no matter what your time frame is, you've got two iconic things that people would always bring up. I assume if you do a Q&A or someone yells out,
for sure,
Goat Boy or Pesci, I don't know if you throw it in there when you're riffing. So you made your mark.
I like that. I call it like you went to battle and everyone got the tattoo. And no matter what, they're like, how was your career? And you go, and they go, oh shit, you made a mark. The GOAT, and wow.
Yeah. Because you to get through that and get a catchphrase or get a sketch people know, it's almost impossible. But that's what I wanted. Even having bye-bye or something where people knew it and you go, hey, I went on the show, I came out, and there was something that caught on. Or, you're just part of the history of like, hey, I got something in there that people would remember.
And the show is still fucking going.
And it's still going. And they're still coming up with shit.
Going full circle, when Fred Armisen left the show, he emailed me and goes, how do you deal with it? When he left and he couldn't watch it, he goes, they're doing my show. What's going on?
Yeah.
So everybody has this melancholy. If you're ever near the building again, it's like going back to your high school on a Sunday afternoon and going, really? Yep. There's this sort of emotionality. That's the fun part of this podcast, because everyone has these feelings about that show. Just something about it. And Lorne is still there. And it's still an 8H, and it's all the exact same. It's amazing.
Yeah, you get terrified walking on those halls.
Anyway, are you going to have enough energy to perform tonight, or you feel good? Or what are you going to do?
I'm actually off tonight, so that's good. I got an off night, and then tomorrow I'll do the show. And, and then I think I'm losing my mind. I booked, I think, 50 shows all the way through May, where I'm doing like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks on. I haven't done that.
That's tough.
You'll get sharp. And then are you going to shoot another special? You shoot that on your own, right? And put them on YouTube? I'm filming.
This is what I learned. I don't have, on YouTube. It's all YouTube. Yeah. So I'm filming 3 shows next week. One is at one venue, and the other one is at that Paramount.
That'll be
and we'll see. And
it's
how that
3
goes.
cameras. I mean, you control the lighting. I mean, it's kind of
like
not overkill, but it's not 20 cameras and all that shit.
No. No one cares about that anymore. No one cares about that. What I noticed too is like you can hire the biggest production team and put everything in it. If you just put from your phone a little piece of the set, that's all they want to see.
It doesn't matter.
No one ever says, it looked like Scorsese. They go, no, it was funny or it wasn't.
It looked like Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah.
Was it funny? No, but fucking David Lean came back from the dead, man.
Well, good luck with it, man. Good luck with it, too.
All right, Jim. A pleasure. So I hope we see you around campus,
Talk
as they
to you
say.
soon, buddy.
Pleasure. Enjoyed it. Thanks, man.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey. Please follow, subscribe, leave a like, a review, all the stuff. Smash that button, whatever it is, wherever you get your podcasts. Fly on the Wall is executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Jenna Weiss-Berman of Odyssey, Charlie Finan of Brillstein Entertainment, and Heather Santoro. The show's lead producer is Greg Holtzman.